I was thinking you should start with that Turbo Negro song about pizza. It's like one of the funniest songs ever. Gonna get some motherfucking pizza tonight.
Yeah.
That's a great song, man. I guess he owned a pizza place called Paparius or something, or just,
is that where it comes from?
Yeah. It's like, the line's like, so you said you had a calzone. Well, not like this.
Yeah.
It's fucking...
Motherfucking pizza tonight.
Motherfucking pizza tonight.
Yeah. And,
motherfucking pizza every night, guys.
Yeah. Especially from, what's that place we ordered from? The Box.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Doughbox.
Where's the Doughbox?
That was a hell. We should get. Hey, Doughbox, sponsor us. Give us free pizzas.
Wait.
Do you want to open your?
Oh yeah, here. Wait, I'll do it with my wedding ring. It's pretty classy.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. Hold on, check it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sick.
So Brian Larkins is opening a beer, but
What?
it's an NA beer.
God, he fooled me.
Oh, boo.
Boo.
Yeah, but I'm opening one of these.
Can I
from,
smell yours? 'Cause
Yeah,
I shouldn't
you are.
drink that. Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Smell
that's
this one.
true.
Smell this one.
Yeah. I don't drink this kind of beer, but I just want to smell it.
Can you smell something missing in it? Like, can you smell that the joy has been taken out of this
Yeah.
thing?
Let's see.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
Look at I'm spilling shit already. My God.
Joy is
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Pauli was able to.
That might be a little bit left.
Yeah, it was made without fun.
Yeah.
If you look at the ingredients, like fun is not on the ingredients.
They were able
It's
to
all
extract
made
it.
with no love whatsoever.
Wait, hold on.
There's
I
some
get to
company
finally
that
do
just
it.
got sued for, not sued, but the government, like I think it was like an FDA thing, because in their ingredients list, it was some like organic, like hippie granola company or something like that, and in their ingredients list it said love, like in the middle, and like some government agency is like, you have to take that out because love is not an ingredient.
The FDA probably.
Yeah,
That's
something like that.
amazing.
It's not approved.
Yeah, exactly.
a bunch of assholes.
Love is not approved.
Not
by
in
the
this
FDA.
administration,
Not
goddammit.
exactly. This administration, definitely, there's no love approved. So speaking of no love, this is Hour of the Barbarian. I'm Chris Dodge.
Ryan Harkins.
Philip Vera.
And I've just opened this.
The third.
I just opened this beer.
We getting back to Vegas?
No, we're going back
this
to
was
TJ.
Oh,
It's from Tijuana. This is our pal Froy from Calafia Puta.
Yes.
Brought up some.
That band
some
absolutely
beers.
rips, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I said that
there you
before.
go.
God damn, is that band good.
You might have said it on that one episode that is now getting lost.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
sorry about
Due
the
to-
delay, everybody.
Due to my snafu.
Yeah, there was. We actually had this beer before, and we talked about it before, but the episode turns out is lost forever.
This
so.
is gonna feel like deja vu for
sorry.
us, but
Yeah.
what's that? But basically, I don't want to get into all the technical jargon, but I fucked up the last episode.
And it was a gem.
It was pretty good. We talked about some pretty funny shit.
Let's talk about how
some of it
awesome
today.
the episode
Oh
at hand
man,
is.
we can take a half hour to tell about
Oh,
how
you
good
guys
that
should have
was.
heard it.
Should've heard that.
You guys
Holy
should have heard that one.
Remember that one? I was like, ah! And then Chris was like, wah!
No.
Oh, wait, hey, cheers. We can finally really do that.
It was.
Here we go.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Yeah.
we
How
go.
about that?
That is good.
It was.
What is that?
It was one of the only episodes that I think all of us were in tears laughing.
Oh yeah. That is true.
Oh, well. So you missed the hilarity. This is.
It ensued. It did.
Was I have my contacts in, so I can't read it.
Oh, here.
But this.
The
This is from
Super,
what?
Super Smash.
Is it Ludica? Is that the brewery?
Yeah, Ludica, Mexico, and Super Smash. I remember having this one.
Yeah. He
This
brought
is
up
fucking
some
tasty.
from this brewery, which is
Some
one of my
other-
favorites down there.
Is that like a Belgian or is that, what is that? It looks lighter.
Is it an IPA or something?
Single hop pale ale. Oh, it smells good.
Or is my
Smells better than mine tastes.
Or as Andre, my buddy Andre's ex-girlfriend once saw a bottle that said that. She goes, "Oh, polyolly."
Oh, no!
And Andre gave her the look of like this look that was like disgust and like I hate you.
I noticed you did say ex
Yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah. I remember because we both looked at Andre and he was shaking his head like, I can't believe I know this person. Polyolly. He was like, fuck. I'm gonna put a pillow over her face or something. But
Be more savage women.
Yeah.
Speaking of savage women,
Yes.
I went to. Okay, so there's been some,
What a segue.
no, there's been some good shows in town lately, right? I mean, like Victims were in town last night.
Oh, yeah.
Did I go? No, of course I didn't.
It seemed too late. It seemed like it was going to go too late.
Of course I didn't go. Well, you have a reason. You're at the Dodger game, which is great.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was babysitting my nephews.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So instead of seeing this awesome band and being in a room with a bunch of 20-year-olds who were falling all over, breaking everything, I was in a room with a 3 and 7-year-olds falling around breaking everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty much the same deal.
Instead of stepping on like a broken body, you stepped on like Legos.
Step on a Lego and like fuck.
It's probably more painful.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, what I was getting at is, there's been that. There's been some other good shows lately that I missed. But I did end up going to see, on Friday night, I went to see Father John Misty.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Where was that at?
Nice.
It was at the Greek.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Camille really wanted to go. And I didn't know any of his stuff.
Yeah, I'm not, I just know he's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Total, hipster shit. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because she likes all that, Americana, whatever. And that's what I was expecting. I was thinking, okay, this is going to be a bunch of people dressed up as, Quakers or pilgrims or whatever. And just, playing.
They're all churning their own...
churning their own butter on stage and, playing,
there's
guitars made out of cigar boxes and stuff.
You open the map to the Greek and it says churning station.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them. You're like, oh, well, there's one near the bathroom.
But that's what I thought it was, is, just my daddy rode the rails, and I'm like, okay. I was kind of in the mood for Americana sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's not what it was. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of...
Full-on death metal.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so, retro
porno,
grind.
Weird
porno, one-man.
Alien porno grind.
Yeah, Father John Misty is like a one-man porno grind.
It's perfect.
You were like, this is exactly what I wanted.
This is fantastic.
Like the singer from
I'm glad
Ghost.
these tickets were $60.
They got me.
Yeah. No, but what it was a total estrogen party because imagine I don't know John Mayer, but you always hear how John Mayer is just one of those
like a ladies' man guy,
total ladies sort of thing, and this to me
Panty dropper.
Yeah, exactly. To me, this Father John Misty is probably in that same category because it was just just women screaming
really
after the songs and stuff, but he's got this huge band and. It's weird because his songs don't really. There's no hook. There's not a sing along part or it just kind of keeps meandering. It's almost it's this weird 70s sort of Elton John, an Elton John album from the mid 70s and all the songs that you don't know. Mm-hmm. It's all of those, but without the parts repeating and just this long stream of just kind of weird. Semi-cryptic, wanting to be socially aware sort of lyrics, and it's just na 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 na. It's oh, he's such a poet and the storyteller.
Yeah, the chorus is gonna come soon.
Yeah, here comes the chorus, and it just kind of keeps going and meandering, and then he dances around, and Aaron's and my wife is salivating. She's just when she talks about it, she's just Father John Misty. She's keeping the drool in her mouth because she's oh my God, he's the end all be all.
Father John Misty.
And that's why it kind of occurred to me that men get a bad rap for being total savages and stuff. It's just oh, you guys and here's football and beer and and you just tits and whatever. And it's women are exactly the same. I'm sorry, but it's just a different thing. It's a total different thing. Men are primal in that sort of way, where it's just you have just that savage sort of it's me and Ryan are married, but obviously you love your wife. She's awesome, whatever. Yeah.
Thank you,
but then
you guys are good
but
together.
you're not unaware that there are attractive women in the world, and you see that, and you're just whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but but for women, it's I think it's the exact same thing, but they're not. It's not just immediate oh hey. I see boobs or I see whatever.
Yeah.
It's just it's more that kind of sensual sort of thing. It's just oh my God, this singer is so androgynous. I love him.
They're sensual barbarians.
Yeah, it's true. Women are sensual barbarians because they go that exact same route where you're just whoa. but in a different way.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
not
a classier way.
Yeah, it's a that's true.
Sensory.
That's true.
We're
That's
all
true.
like fucking, damn, look at those tits.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my God, look at that ass just walked by.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
but like women aren't going to be like, look at that dick. But what they're going to do is like they're going to see that performer and watch him gyrating and stuff, and like over the course of an hour, just be like, oh man, if I was in bed with him, ooh, what I would do. Oh man. You know,
women are like, you know,
God.
sometimes you hear like, oh, his shoulders, and you're just like,
shoulders. The fuck are you talking about? Oh, his personality is
because I shrug all the time.
I want to be involved in the conversation where somebody goes, look at that dick.
yeah,
Look at that cock. Oh my lord.
Fucking killer.
yeah.
You just got a good shape.
Good girth.
Good girth. Do you think it's going to the left or the right? I can't tell.
And we're off.
So yeah, there we
And
go.
we're off.
Yeah.
Off to the races.
So anyhow, thanks for the beer, Foy. No.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's get back to that.
He just smuggled this
Oh
up
my
from
God.
Tijuana.
Well, speaking of like emotions and stuff at the Dodger game yesterday, a friend said he went into the bathroom because they were down 2-0, and he said there was this guy literally in the bathroom like telling everyone, stop frowning, they're gonna win, come on guys, like come on man, like smile, put smiles on your faces, and like
Turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, and he said
Come
it was
on.
like he said it was totally weird because everybody's in the bathroom, like no one smiles in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, why are you gonna walk into the men's restroom with like 40 guys like with a big smile on your face?
Come on, smile.
It was just kick your ass.
This goes with
Come on, smile.
when we were in Cleveland, man, like we were getting shellacked by the Steelers, and there's this lady 3 rows in front of us, this normal like mom lady, right? Everybody's bummed out. It's the Browns were losing. It's the first game of the year, and it's the Steelers, you know, and just depressed. And this lady stands up, come on, we can do it. It's the Browns. Rah! She's trying to get everybody going, and this dude like 3 rows behind me just goes, sit down, Karen.
You knew her.
She fucking said that. Like one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed at a sports event. Like I felt bad because I'm like, man, that lady's someone's mom. Like, but that was some hell of a fucking like sit down, Karen.
And what is it like later in the game? So she's probably.
Oh yeah, it's fourth quarter.
Oh,
the game was over.
Probably all sloppy and
The
hammered.
best part is everyone in that section knows her name is Karen, so you can so when you're drunk, that's
Karen.
that's the sort of thing that I would grab onto right away and
Yeah.
just
Oh, yeah.
every opportunity use her name.
Especially you
Like,
got season tickets.
hey, how's it going over there, Karen?
Sit down, Karen.
Sit down,
Karen.
Karen.
I'm gonna go get some beer. Karen, you want anything?
Karen, you want?
Karen, nachos? Nachos?
Yeah.
Dude, I literally came home and I felt
You
so
cried in your
fucking
pillow.
sick, man, because I ate so much garbage. Like, I mean, you
Was
just,
it at the Dodger game?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was just like we
Where'd
got
you
there.
get the garlic fries? I would assume.
No,
No?
I got the Dodger dog with they put beef rib like.
Oh yeah, like a short rib.
Yeah,
version.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
That's awesome.
Well, let's. Before we went there, like a couple hours early, I had a full breakfast. Then I had. Then we got there early, like a good 2.5 hours early to avoid all. It was actually a good deal to avoid all the bullshit.
Oh yeah.
But we were there for got a beer and then had that fucking Dodger dog thing, and then shortly after had another beer too. Had another Dodger dog. Had some peanuts. And then on the way home, I had 5 tacos. And so,
Holy shit.
so last night I had a couple like when you just feel it all like.
Oh, yeah.
What is that called? Like acid reflux or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's the
swear,
worst.
I don't usually get that, but last night I was like, I burped up like some, it's all like gassy, or not gassy, it's like acidic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just
bile.
like, like I'm burping up bile, and I was just sitting there like, when you're so full, you just don't want to move. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, I'm like, and then I looked at my stomach in the mirror. I'm like, holy fuck, you're such a fucking fat glutton. piece
Yeah.
of shit.
Asshole.
Yeah, I was like, you're an asshole, dude. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to sleep like really disturbed, like almost like the band Disturbed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I went to sleep going,
So it was
"Wah!"
good.
No, but I just had to say that. That was fucking disgusting. That's why when you mentioned Pepe's this morning, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm
Let's
out.
pass on Pepe.
Yeah, this is
time.
one of
I
the
mean,
first.
we'll still run free ads for him. but-
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
God, man. I don't know, maybe I don't know what we'll have as a sound. It'd be a good sound like Pepe's and row, like a fucking like Jaguars. I gotta find that.
Oh man. I,
Have like,
you know,
have like Eye of the Tiger playing in the background.
Yeah. This
Pity the fool. Oh man,
yeah, we're gonna get
that's
more
making me
creative on
hungry
those.
for Pepe's now. Though. All this
Yeah.
talk.
We will have to eat something probably. So
Give
Yeah,
those
see
fucking
that for
breakfast
later.
burritos.
God, we're doing an ad right now.
Yeah, I know. Pepe's.
Pepe. Since 1953, they have been making burritos, tacos, and all kinds of crap. And Robin, later at the Hall of Justice. Oh, Jesus. Well,
Okay, well,
I'll
are we like scat singing now?
let you go ahead. I was just going to mention something we cut out of the
Okay, go.
last episode.
There you go.
Which was the Power Violence Project.
Yes.
So I want to kind of...
And actually, these beers, the reason that I have the beer from, from TJ is our buddy Freud came up to the Power Violence Project benefit show, which is up in Oakland a couple weeks ago. At this point, several more weeks ago.
4 months ago.
Yeah, when we recorded the last episode of this, it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now it's like a month ago.
Yeah, it's like a month ago. It's like,
But it was still a good time.
It was a very good time. But yeah, I just want to make sure that we talk about that. That was an awesome weekend we had up there.
God's name is that?
Oh my God! What, are you gonna shove that in my ass?
Yeah. Okay.
It's like
Sorry,
it stopped
totally.
everything dead in its
Yeah.
tracks. Like,
Whoa.
what the
I
fuck is that?
totally
It's like a
derailed.
tennis can.
Yeah, I derailed everything by pulling this out.
It does look like it contains
Yeah.
tennis balls or some
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
Make it like
This massive-
slap it onto the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait till I whip this out.
Wait till I whip this.
Yeah, this is my brother-in-law and his sister-in-law from Reno.
Whoa.
Brought a
Wow,
whole
those
bunch
guys
of
are great.
brought a whole bunch of beers from Reno. So they brought up this. Thank you, Sarah and Ricky, and the girls. You're doing the Lord's work. You brought up brought down a bunch of beer from Reno. So brought this massive crowler from Revision Brewing Company up there.
Oh,
This
that's
is,
their growler in a can, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing's awesome.
Damn.
That's
Yeah,
just
so
looking
this
at
is
it,
a
it looks
Revision
like a fucking
yeah.
bullet for a cannon.
Yeah, so
Like you like load that thing up
How
and
is
you
it? Like you drop
kill
it in
someone
your
with that thing.
oh. Hey-o.
Hey-oh.
Okay, so
What
sorry,
kind
I
of beer is it?
distracted you.
What kind of beer is it?
It's an IPA.
Fuck yeah.
Oh god, you guys
Here
are
we go.
good.
Yeah.
We'll be nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect for this
Saucy.
fucking Sunday morning.
I know.
Yeah.
Ah, Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Actually, we should
morning.
just say it's like 7 p.m. on Sunday night or something.
Yeah. It
Just
makes
make
it sound not
like
as bad.
we're complete
Yeah.
dog shit.
Oh, what a crazy night we're having.
Wow, what a crazy afternoon I had.
It's not even afternoon yet.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Anyhow,
Fuck
yeah.
the afternoon.
Yeah. Okay, so I completely derailed what you were
Yeah,
saying.
Power Violence
So Oakland
Project.
Power Violence Project.
I was just gonna say it was a fun weekend. I think Friday was Crom and Gas. We played on Friday. Then Saturday was not the only bands that played Friday. Who else played? Redacted, Fractured. Oh, and you did a little set there.
Oh yeah,
of,
that's right. To the Point did a surprise set. Like surprise.
you didn't mention that.
You
on
jumped
the
out of
last
a cake,
recording. I
didn't
didn't.
Yeah.
Did you jump out of a cake or something?
Yeah, I
Surprise!
did. I had tassels on my nipples and they spun around like surprise.
Da-da. Da-da.
Really giving people what they want to see. You know?
I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Chris Dodge,
So much money was being thrown at you. You made like $1,000 that night.
so many ones.
Spaz was good, but have you seen that
Fantastic.
guy's burlesque show?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Chris Dodge burlesque show would be pretty amazing.
It would be fantastic. Okay, I'll work on that. Great.
All right,
idea.
everybody's
Yeah.
boners. Go down for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Got
Put
everybody
that away.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it was Redacted, who's the guys, old guys from like Plutocracy and Comics and the Riff Merchants and that whole like Redwood City scene. Actually, want to give a shout out to Curly and Franco.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
last one, but we
Yeah, we did a
I
shout out to
destroyed
them
that.
on the last show, but the last show doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, Curly and Franco podcast. It's Frank,
Good show.
who's the Agents of Satan, and he's in Redacted and Plutocracy and all that. Amazing bass player, hilarious dude, super talented. Their podcast is funny. It's just dudes drinking beer and talking about shit and
Something totally you guys aren't familiar with already. It's just
Yeah, exactly.
a totally different
It's
scope of
like
podcast. Yeah.
Another universe.
Yeah. Oh, and the thing I brought up the last time, which is still funny, is that I recall is is from the last one that I listened to, where he is adamantly talking about the marine layer.
Oh yeah.
Like how cool. Because they live on the San Francisco Peninsula there, and like, you know, the clouds coming over and like the fog and everything, and how it's like nice and cool, and they're like, yeah, fucking marine layer, bitch. I know that's the only time that's ever been mentioned anywhere at any time. It's like, is someone being that like into the marine layer.
So good.
Cheers to Curly and Franco.
Yeah.
Still funny. Yeah.
And then I think we also ran into Aesop,
Yeah.
who does Death Metal
Aesop
Dads,
Deckard. It's Death Metal Dad's podcast.
which we've listened to. Is
Yeah, that's a good one. That one I think is very similar to ours.
Yeah.
So,
except they have like
cheers to
48
everyone.
episodes.
yeah,
like
except
4.
they've been doing it way longer.
Yeah.
Ah.
So we're kind of like
But our
posers.
our show numbers are higher because we started because we kind of cheated. and
Oh,
started
true,
late.
true. Yeah, we fully
Oh
cheated.
yeah, it was 172.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah. What am I saying? This is episode 170.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we've been doing
Doing
this
this a
for
long
like
time.
It's
18
like
years.
84.
Yeah.
God
Since
damn.
84. You know, we've been podcasting
Before the
since 84.
podcast
Before the
started, we
podcast.
were doing it before
On
you.
top of
so-
all that shit, man.
Oh gee. So yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying Friday was a good time. Gas played for the first time in 48 years or
Yeah.
whatever.
And now they got like 17 people in their band.
Yeah, it's like fucking
Like a marimba
it's
player
like Parliament up there. Marimba.
Yeah, it's like seeing Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
That's
I was
great.
really like I was waiting for like Celebrate or one of those jams to come on. Like, let's get
Do
the
you
party started.
remember?
Yeah. Do you-
The night of September. So yeah, it's pretty
That
much
would
the
be
same
some
deal.
shit if they just legit did
Yeah.
that. That would be the greatest.
Everybody's going like,
Doing a shimmy.
yeah, shimmy. But
So that was a gasp set.
And
Yeah.
also they did the Neanderthal, which was
yeah.
on the Friday night, which was like one side was all people selling a bunch of shit,
bunch
like
of washed up
records.
dude selling
Yeah,
shit.
a bunch of washed up dudes trying to get rid of shit in their boxes at home.
Like, I had this shit in my garage for 20 years. Oh, someone wants it now? Like, awesome.
$20.
Yeah, exactly. $20.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
great.
I dug up some 7 inches that I sold, and
Yeah.
it was totally like that. I was like, I don't listen to this. Yeah, I had this like whole set of
This sucks.
Agathocles, or how do you pronounce it?
Agathocles
Or is
splits.
I guess so, yeah.
Someone
Whatever.
corrected me, and I was like, I don't fucking know. How do
It's
you
gotta
know?
be
What are you,
Agathocles.
Greek?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
The Gothocles?
yeah.
Oh,
but
they're
I've
like,
heard
they're like
heard
Agathocles, and I'm like,
Agathocles.
I guess, like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Either
The
way,
band
fuck
that does
off.
splits with
Agathocles.
everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like you know the one we're talking about.
They're all Socrates. It's not Socrates. It's Socrates. So it's got to be Agathocles or whatever. Oh, fuck you.
Like, let's debate it for a while.
Yeah, let's debate the name.
It's so
of it.
important.
Agathocles.
Belgian grind band.
But yeah. So that was cool. Kind of unloading some garbage.
On the youth.
Wow.
Loading garbage on
Anybody
the
who
youth.
bought anything from you
Yeah.
there
No,
is
but I
so
bet you,
bummed
I bet
right
you
now.
they were into it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
someone's garbage is another person's treasure.
That
But
is true.
yeah,
As
but
they
you know,
say.
your fans are like they bought that thing from you, and they're holding it in their hand, like looking at it lovingly, listening to the podcast right now, and then you're like,
Touch this.
oh,
Total shit.
and then you just like garbage, and like
Smash it. It's
this is like
Yeah.
start getting teary eyed, and trembling, lower lip.
Phil's here
Like,
just shitting all over
wait,
people.
what?
Shitting
What do you
all
mean
over.
garbage?
What do you mean garbage?
Your taste in music is shit.
What do you mean Agathocles or Agathocles?
Or go whatever you call it.
I don't even know. I don't even care.
I don't even care. So great, Socrates. So Friday was fun, and then we were all
Friday
staying-
we got fucked up.
Yeah, we got really
serious.
hammered at that. I don't know what that.
That's what I do in general. Is like whenever I play out of town, the first night I always hit it hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm just
Like go big.
yeah, because I'm just happy to be there.
You're free.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like okay, I'm out of work. I'm here. I'm somewhere else. I'm with my friends. Yes, and just kind of go. And it also didn't hurt that I hadn't eaten anything.
Oh, that's right.
That'll do
I
it.
didn't eat
That'll
anything.
do it.
I ate a peanut butter sandwich on the drive up at noon, and that was about it. And then I got there.
Were the crusts cut off?
Yeah, No, my
So
wife.
it's even smaller.
Yeah, exactly. No, the wife didn't cut him off for me. I gave her a talking to when I got home.
Okay.
But,
I would hope
good,
so.
Yeah.
Good.
Jesus Christ.
yeah. And all she was doing was talking about
You're
Father
the
John Misty.
person cut off!
It's like Father John Misty wanted to cut off. Oh, that man.
Yeah. That stallion. Did you
Yeah.
see his mouth when it moved?
When it moved.
Did you see his shoulders?
Did you see when he shrugged his shoulders during that fourth song? I almost said fourth. I don't know why.
So anyhow, yeah. So
Good accent.
so I got up
Fourth.
got up to Oakland at 6 o'clock. Set up the whole Neanderthal thing. Said here, buy my garbage, and kids were coming in already and buying stuff, and so I never got away to
Same
actually
shit. I had the same
to actually
deal.
eat anything. And so then it's like, oh well, screw it. I'm already here. Let's just keep
later.
Keep it going. Keep that money train rolling. Come on, kids. Buy
Daddy dinner.
Yeah.
Keep that money train. Yeah.
So as it turns out, then I'm there behind the table drinking maybe just nothing but water. Do the to the point set, and then someone's like, "Hey, they got this triple IPA here. Like, score, let's go. Knee deep triple IPA." And then it was all downhill.
That was
from
the
there.
beginning of the
Yeah,
end.
that's the beginning of the end, because it's like, okay, well, ordinarily on a normal day, triple IPA, that's fine. I get a little buzz, it's good, but when you have it at 9 p.m. and the last time you ate was noon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the show's not over till
Yeah,
like midnight or 1.
Yeah, and then you have a couple of those triple IPAs. Yeah, that's a recipe for,
We went to that
good times.
We went to that bar that had like a trough all around. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah. So
What,
we
like piss trough?
There was a piss trough
Kinda,
like all
yeah.
around. I guess before
No.
it used to be used, but it's not anymore. I don't know.
After the show, we walked down a couple blocks to whatever this place was called, and there was like tile. Like these weird little tiles, like you'd see at the edge of like a urinal or something, like a urinal trough sort of thing, like underneath the bar. It was the weirdest thing.
And like
Weird.
So the bar went like around like a rectangle in the middle of the bar, and that trough thing was all around the edges of it.
So I don't know if they're in-
bottom.
Oh, I know what it's for, but it'd be great to think it was
Like for
like.
porn.
No, I love that. That
It
you
would
just
be, it'd be great to think it was like
Throwing
some
up
real
or something?
Neanderthal shit. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what it's made for. They used to just piss in there. No, I
like,
think
so
it's
you
for
don't
like,
get up.
I think it's for like making wiping
It's
down.
sweet.
And,
Like,
for just cleaning it
but
up
no,
easy?
you just put it in the drains. And stuff.
Yeah.
So we have like, yeah, that makes sense.
I was thinking it'd be awesome if you're just on a stool there and you just like, you don't have to get up to pee. You just like keep drinking,
Yeah.
just like, you just whip it out and,
I've seen a few.
excuse
people,
me while I whip this out.
Excuse me.
I've actually seen a few people
Little
do that before in my
splashback.
life. It was for no good reason whatsoever. Actually,
Just
like
pissing
just
on
like
The wall at the
Just
bar.
just like
'cause you can?
Yeah, just pissing on the bar while ordering a beer.
I peed in a movie theater once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like fucking 9. I was with my buddy. We were watching, of all movies, the movie Your. If you haven't seen it,
I don't know that one.
see it. It's fucking awful. It's like a
remember that,
kind of like Conan-ish.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
He
Yeah.
fights
It's
his.
like,
He,
see it, it's awful. Buy this, it's awful.
yeah, oh, dude, I love awful
Yeah.
shit. Because he fights like this giant spider at the end, and it's totally fake. Like and they
Yeah.
like they move too much. Like they're just probably shaking it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's totally bad. But I remember like my buddy's like, or I said I gotta piss. I gotta remember this from like 9 or whatever, which was like 48 years ago. And so I was. I remember we're in the front row of the theater, and I don't know how many people were in there, but I said, I got to piss. He's like, why don't you just piss here? And I'm like, I got to piss here. And he's like, yeah, do it. So, you're young.
Why
Yeah,
not?
I
Why
pissed
not?
in the front row of the theater,
Front row.
And this is a Monterey Park theater. It's not there anymore. So my piss is
good.
literally gone. It's not existent anymore. It was probably in the cement of that place.
That's a funny. That's,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
good.
bold one.
We used to go to all sorts of, like in high school, there's this place, the Meridian Quad in San Jose, that we'd go to every Tuesday because it was dollar night, and like all the riffraff from
Would
all
all
the high
be there.
school kids and all the
Yeah.
riffraff would.
Imagine working that place. You just be
Oh,
like,
it'd be horrible, yeah. And they'd
bunch of
all
fucking rotten kids.
show up at that time, and there are all sorts of like gangbangers and stuff, and we just go and see like the shittiest movie possible, like stuff like that, like Your. And
Oh,
we
yeah.
went to see the Fat Boys movie,
Nice.
Disorderlies. Yeah,
Nice.
actually, that was a good one. Disorderlies. We're sitting there.
It's pretty silly.
I'm there with Todd Wilder, and I think my buddy Wayne came with me, and we were like 3 of the only white people in the whole
Really?
theater. And so like they started the film, and like I swear to God, someone yells out at the beginning of it. It's like, "Yo, turn that up! This ain't no white people's movie." And they turned up the volume in the theater, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" Like the whole theater cheered. It was fantastic.
Oh, white people's
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck the whites. Fuck you, cracker. It was great.
That's amazing. And they obliged is the best.
Yeah,
part.
yeah, exactly. That's the only time that, like, if someone yells out something like, "Well, okay then."
Yep, sure.
No problem, sir.
Yeah, we'll get that volume up right away.
Holy shit.
Fuck, that's amazing.
Yeah.
We're talking about shit theaters. Yeah, I mean that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
I remember going to seeing was it Rambo 3 and Phantasm 2? It was like a $2 theater.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there was this guy, black guy. You know, not like it has to be black or white, but we're talking about races here.
Yeah.
But it was a black guy. He was in our aisle, and he was talking to the screen.
Yeah.
Every so often, he would go like, "Get that rocket launcher, Rambo." And he's like, he'd be like, "That's right." And he's like, "You're Rambo, do it." Or like just saying shit to the screen.
He was by himself.
Yeah, it was by himself.
That's great.
And he had like an army jacket on. It was kind of weird.
shit.
So and there was
You don't
I mean,
wanna
this
mess
we were
with
like probably like 15 or
Yeah.
14 or something. So
Get that rocket launcher.
yeah, that was my favorite. Really, get that rocket launcher, Rambo. And I was like, fuck, this guy's really into this.
Really
shit.
into it.
I mean, I'm
Cool.
into it. I'm a kid.
Yeah.
This is a man. And so then the movie ended, and we were like, okay, we got up to walk out of the aisle, and he was in our aisle. But when we walked over to start walking out, he was standing up and looking at the credits. Like literally standing up with his jacket, like
So you
watching
can
the
get
credits. And we're like,
He wasn't
oh,
saluting.
No, but he was
That'd
just
be
like,
great. He had like his hand over his heart.
he's humming. He's all,
Thank you, Rambo.
out.
Thank you, John Rambo.
thank you, John
For
J.
your
Rambo.
service.
Yeah, for your service.
True patriot.
A true baby. So we fucking turned the other way. Like, let's go the other way, dude. This guy's fucking. I don't know. I don't want to walk by him. But that's an old,
That's cool.
shit theater moment.
Yeah. But and another one at that same theater, I forget what movie it was, but there was at one point in the middle of the movie, some guy like ran down the aisle. He goes to the front. And he's like, "Yo, Leroy needs some friends," and like the whole front row got up and ran out.
What? It was like a big brawl.
Yeah, like there's a huge fight.
Oh, that's amazing. Leroy needs some friends.
Leroy needs some friends. And they all ran out of the theater. It's fantastic.
Wow.
That's cool that they were down to like. I mean, what movie
Yeah.
was it?
I don't know.
I mean, if it was a good
Steel
movie, I'd be like,
Magnolias. I don't know.
Yeah. Like, paid for
like you
ticket
get up,
though.
you're like, yeah, they're all.
Like,
Sit back down in your seat.
Yeah.
and
yeah, it's like,
leaving.
yeah,
It's
but
like
I,
Halloween 3 or all.
yeah, but I paid $1. So,
Yeah.
like,
This is actually a good part.
Yeah, will he need friends in like half an hour? I think we got a half hour till the end of this
I
thing.
think Red Dawn's over in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Can we just finish the movie? That'd be
Oh,
tough,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Chris Dodge needs some friends.
Yeah. Chris, I need
You're
some
all,
friends.
fuck. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, look at that.
Wait, what did he say?
What did he say? I missed that because I got yelled. Fuck. We should do this day in dog shit
Yeah.
theater cinema.
Yeah.
This day in dog shit. Have that like typing.
Yeah.
Because it's old.
Yeah, true.
You don't have any shit
I
cinema?
don't think so. I was trying to
Like
think
Cleveland,
of something. Like, I got really.
Just make up one.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not a big fan of. I've never been a big fan of seeing movies in theater, so I
Yeah.
don't have too many good theater stories.
Yeah, I have millions.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We did go. I remember I did for Star Wars when Episode 1 came out. My roommate at the time and I did. We dressed up.
Episode
and
1,
went-
like Jar Jar episode 1,
Yeah.
or like the real Star
Yeah,
Wars?
no, yeah.
See, that's what always throws me off. Is
Episode-
like the whole, like when people say
it's
like the you know,
Jar Jar.
It is
one.
episode
yeah,
1.
say like
but it's because
first
the other one's 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like
It's
people,
before.
I only recently kind of caught on to New Hope. I'm like, no, it's fucking Star Wars. It's not the new.
Yeah.
Stupid. No.
Oh,
It's
because they retiled them, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, no. In fact, I got a VHS player specifically to get the Star Wars VHS so I could see like the original
original
one that's
ones,
not
yeah.
that's unfutzed with.
Yeah,
you know?
I actually have the Laserdisc one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's
That's sick.
it's all 3 of the first.
Really?
Yeah, you ever want to borrow it, I have a
Yeah.
Laserdisc player
That's
because it's
so
kind of
rad.
rad. Or we should
That's
hang
cool.
out and watch it one time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like
super
it's the
rad.
way it was supposed to be, not with
That's
all
cool.
that like weird like.
Yeah,
you
all
know.
the stuff he ruined.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Greedo shooting first and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah, or like some like.
Did he change that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of Star
It's
Wars
bad.
fans, like hardcore Star
Oh,
Wars fans,
someone's
and
gonna
they're listening
get-
to me right now, like, you fucking moron.
Yeah,
Of course, of course. You know,
You didn't
I
know Greedo shot second, Dick?
because I know there's a whole thing about Han shot first
Yeah,
or
Han
whatever.
shot
and
How could Greedo
so
miss if he
changed
shot first?
It's because it's like under a table. It's dumb. It looks so bad.
He was like,
it's like
was he like aiming like
yeah,
to
I
your
mean,
right?
seriously, like if I missed shooting you right now,
It'd be like, you're a dick.
yeah,
I'd be like,
asshole. yeah,
God, what a dickhead.
nice shot, bro.
Nice shot, alien creep. You got feelers on your head.
That's the diss.
Yeah.
you have feelers.
You have
on
feelers
your
on
head,
your
bro.
head. Yeah, you got, that's the diss. You have suction cups on your head.
This is the Han Solo DMS version. you have feelers on your head,
You
bro.
got feelers on your head, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So how did we go down this path? I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Somehow we went from the Power Violence Project to like.
Because I pissed in the
Greedo
theater.
shooting
Oh,
first.
here, check it out. I'll be
Oh,
back.
pissing in the
Saturday
theater.
night.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's all it
We
takes.
didn't get to Saturday night. Yeah. Yeah, because Friday we hit it hard.
It's getting Mongo a
I
little bit.
wore a bald girl's wig. That was the highlight for
Oh,
me.
yeah. Yeah, it looked really cute with the bangs and.
Yeah. Plus, I looked really young.
Oh
I
my
was like
god.
in fact, they carded me after.
Well, actually,
I-
when you put
after
your
I was running.
finger to your mouth, you went like this.
Yeah.
And it was like they were like, "Hey, get
Ooh,
that girl out of
hey,
here."
get that, yeah,
That
get
little
that young,
fucking-
get
little
that
kid?
young girl, yeah.
Little kid here.
You guys ever seen The Professional?
Was it the Hitman movie?
Yeah,
or something?
yeah.
The
Remember
French
her
guy,
hair?
whatever her name
Yeah, it was kind of
Yeah.
like you look
Was
like
it?
what's her name? Natalie Portman in the
Portman, yeah.
in The Professional. Now that I think about
I've been
it,
told that. I've been compared to
when
Natalie
you have
Portman
that wig
often.
on, it's like
yeah.
it's almost uncanny. It's
The
like
beard
holy
I think,
shit.
really sucked. You know.
Yeah.
So
The
I mean,
beard
Natalie
together.
Portman's got that facial hair. It's
Yeah,
kind of like,
yeah.
it's
Back
like
then.
light. It's light colored.
Back then, it's
so,
really
yeah.
light, but if
it's
you
kind of
go-
like with my
if she turns her
gray.
chin in the sun, it's like,
Right.
whoa, that's a beard.
Yeah, totally.
Totally.
Oh, girl beard. Whoa.
Oh my god. What a-
She pulls it off.
she pulls
Yeah,
it
she
off.
pulls off
Yeah.
the girl beard
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
great.
I don't know
Yeah.
how. I don't know how. But,
So anyhow,
oh yeah. So Saturday.
Speaking of girl beards, it was
Yeah.
Saturday night. No, we went to a brewery on Saturday afternoon.
That
which
was
very
kinda
dope.
nice.
Wait, that was
It started out really like
that was the best area to stay, like Jack London Square there, because like Metro, and then we stayed at a hotel a block away, and then the bar we went to was like another block away, and then the next day there was a brewery that was one block
awesome.
from there, and we didn't have to go anywhere.
Is that
And
by
we
the-
walked
there was
around-
that,
Is that by the park with the lake, with Lake Merritt and all
no,
that
no,
stuff
no,
over
no,
there?
no. It's along the water there.
Yeah, it's
and,
real close.
Oh, waterfront.
like maybe
Yeah.
Okay.
like 2 blocks away from
I mean,
the
Lake
They have,
Merritt's
like the
not
oldest
too
bar
far.
in
of it.
America over there.
Yeah,
that's what-
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we walked around there. There was some like food fest thing going
Oh,
on.
yeah. The Jack London Square, is that what it was?
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
us farm to table bullshit.
It was total horseshit because we were like, I mean, me and Cynthia were totally sucked in. Like, let's wait in line at this place, and
Yeah.
like, it was $8 for some like little twig
For a taco.
yeah. I mean, it was good,
Yeah.
and it was like fun. But like, if we were in LA and like, oh, we're going to that, I'd be like, I'm fucking going to that shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm not paying $8 for a
I'm gonna go to
taco.
Pepe's, man. I'll be at
I
Pepe's.
know exactly.
Thank
I'll
you.
be at fucking Pepe's.
Where they put chili relleno in the burrito.
Yeah. I'll be at fucking Pepe's, dick.
But yeah, so Saturday night was good. There was actually a way bigger crowd on the Saturday night show.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they you know, it was in the bigger room, you know, like where
Yeah.
the Neanderthal was.
Right.
But yeah, that was great, man.
It was Infest and Capitalist Casualties and who else? Despise You and the rest Concussive.
Fuck the mids, Bastard Noise.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Bastard Noise, Amps for Christ did like the all like power electronics thing, and they showed a preview.
Oh yeah,
a trailer thing.
how was the trailer? For
Trailer
the-
was cool.
I just saw the second half. It was packed in that room. It was in the
Yeah.
small room
Yeah.
that they showed it. So everybody packed in there.
Ah.
And by the time someone's like, they're showing the trailer, I'm like, oh, fuck. So I barely got my head in, but I watched a little bit of it. But
Yeah, it
you
was
saw
cool.
Probably
It
most
was
of it.
very cool. But
That's pretty awesome.
Athena and Melissa, who are working on this, are doing an awesome job, and they've already.
I actually just ordered my zine and shirt.
Oh,
from
nice.
them. Yeah,
Nice.
because I was unable to attend the festivities, but I think you can do so if you go on the Power Balance Project Instagram and all that stuff. If you want a shirt,
Oh,
you
to
can-
order-
and
oh,
zine
yeah,
you can
yeah.
order.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have
support,
don't
man.
have it handy, but you can find it Power Balance
maybe
Project.
We'll do an
and-
ad or something.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
There could be an
Yeah, why
ad
not?
just
Support the
happens out of
cause,
nowhere.
man.
Exactly, but they've already spent a lot of money out of pocket to travel, and they've come down to LA several times
Yeah.
to interview people, and they're just getting started, and they're trying to raise some funds.
Doing the Lord's work, man.
Yeah, they are doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just to get on the idea of like the Power Balance, the project that they're doing. I remember talking to a friend once. Like we were like, oh, that'd be cool to like someone should cover that, you know. And then we were like, that'd be cool. Like we mentioned, like maybe we should try it on our own, you know. And then it was like, oh, well, you know, what started in the West Coast, like some of these bands on the West Coast, and I was like, oh, what about the bands and then the band in Japan? And I was like, holy fuck! Like it just started to become this like.
It could be huge.
It could have started with just all of our friends who are in California. Let's just interview them and put something cool together. And then you start thinking about you got to include this guy and
like
then
little
this guy.
like little lines that go like, oh, that guy kind of has something to do with it, and then it was like, this sounds like a fucking nightmare. Like but the idea that they're doing West Coast Power Balance makes sense. It's really
This is focused on something like kind of the
Like
starting
the
point.
legit starting point of
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like undisputed starting point of.
who
Power
knows
Balance.
though.
Yeah.
I bet you someone out there might have some like.
Some bullshit claim to it.
Yeah, I mean, like fucking maybe Bioside in Ohio started jamming earlier before
Yeah, but
them.
I mean, you can go back any style of music. You could go back as far as
Bioside.
As far
There
as
was a band called Bioside.
Even before.
I don't know where they're from.
I just pictured the shittiest like death metal-y logo of that. Just
No,
like,
actually, it was. Oh man, this sucks. But there was a it was a demo sent to I think it was Hour of the Goat, the radio show me and Chris had.
Yeah.
They used to send us demos, and there was it was a demo from the band Bioside, and they sent us. There was a picture in the. I'm almost positive. Maybe my memory's bad, but. It's bad, but there was this picture that came along with it, and it was this like kind of like white trash girl like in front of her car, and she had a Bioside shirt on. She was kind of like pulling it out,
Yes.
like, Bioside,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
that was in the package. I remember going like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And then
That's awesome.
we played it, and it was
You saw and being the guy, you're like, oh tits, we gotta play this.
Look at those fucking
Those
tits.
fucking tits, we gotta play that, dude.
That was in my head.
Yeah.
Those fucking
Yeah.
tits.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
You know,
oh,
that's
wow,
how men
who's
are.
this? What are they? Yeah, it's how total savages.
Not how women are, but how men
No.
are. Yeah.
Women would have said, "Wow, look at her shoulders."
Yeah, look at her shoulders. We gotta listen to this.
yeah, bitch is really extreme.
Look at how she moves.
You can tell by the way she carries herself. This is some
Yeah.
raw death. metal.
So anyhow, what?
Yeah, I think it's
do you
break
have to
time.
pee?
I think it's
Timeout.
I think it's break
Timeout.
time.
Production timeout.
I think we're gonna take a little break, and
Yeah.
then we'll come back in 2 and 2 usual.
2 and 2.
No, I'm not ready to break.
Oh,
Oh.
Listen, well,
I'm just gonna. You guys
can
go. You guys go. I'm just gonna do a monologue.
yeah, why don't we, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just sing
Yeah,
or hum.
Go on my fantasy right now. Let's see.
Goodbye, yellow brick road, where the dogs of society howl.
No, the one the episode that we cut out, I forgot. You started with going.
What?
That was killing me. It was going to seeing your frogs in my mind.
That's right. That's right. We went on a whole tangent we were talking about Tijuana and Senor Frogs and all that shit.
Oh
and
yeah, man.
then I kind of transitioned to James Taylor, like going to Carolina.
Going
and-
to seeing your frogs in my mind. I'm gonna have to. I'll try and
All
get
right.
that one ready. But
Okay,
Senor
well, let's take a
Frogs.
break. Let's go Senor Frogs in our minds.
yeah, we're gonna
and
all
we'll be back.
everybody. I don't know. Oh well, that's a Jim Ladd's a pretty.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Jim Ladd. I don't know if you know who Jim Ladd is, right?
No.
No?
Alan Ladd.
The radio guy? Oh, see,
Jim
this
Ladd.
is like L.A. Sorry. Well, if you're from L.A., you'll know what I'm talking about. This is an episode of Headsets. Jim Ladd. Pretend you're at Senior Frogs in my mind. Take a journey with me today on KLOS. Jim Ladd. Back in 2-2.
Take a drive on a cloudless night, down to the ocean, out to the desert, or up a steep and winding road that leads high into the mountains. Anywhere away from the cacophony of city lights. Get out of your car, take a deep breath, and extend your arms upwards toward the sky, as if you were literally reaching for the stars. Now, make a fist and stick out your thumb. There, behind that single inch of human skin and nail, hides 1,000,000 galaxies. And in each of those galaxies, there are 100 billion stars. The universe is a very big place indeed. Now, imagine yourself on the deck of a starship powered by music and guided by your imagination, as we voyage through this vast and endless sea of stars.
Hey you, do you like power? Do you like violence? How about power violence? That's right, two great tastes that taste great together, kind of like a Reese's peanut butter cup, except way more brutal. Our friends Melissa and Athena are putting together a documentary about the origins of West Coast power violence. And they're covering the history of the Big Four, as they call them, capitalist casualties. Man is a bastard, no comment, crossed out. It's gonna be sick. You gotta check it out. Get on their page on Facebook, the West Coast Power Violence Project. Send them an email at powerviolenceproject@gmail.com if you want a shirt, if you want to get a zine, if you want a button, if you just want to support them, give them a donation. You gotta support this. It's gonna be awesome.
Jesus Christ, girl, what are people gonna think when I show up to one of several funerals I've attended for Grandpa's suite? With you, with me, someone's gotta help me.
And we're back.
That bong rip is fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That virtual reality porn. That is something else.
Yeah, what a break we just took, man.
Yeah, we were on just a whole nother.
It was
It's
like
a bender.
Yeah,
I
it was
want
a
to call it
bender.
a bender.
I'd call it like a 14-minute bender.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a bong rip and then straight into virtual reality porn.
Yeah,
And it was weird.
Virtual
Everywhere you
reality
looked,
chimp
you could
porn.
see everybody going at it.
yeah. It was,
Saw the boom mic guy.
Oh, my guy jerking off. So.
That's great. It's like 360, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can see the whole room.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like when you're watching porn, you don't want to always just like, okay, well these people are fucking. Like what else? What else is going on in the room?
What is everybody
Like,
doing? while
oh,
this
okay,
is
what's
being
going on?
filmed?
Oh, there's a bird outside.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. All right, hey,
pretty neat. Hey, it's a cool looking dog over
Hey,
there.
there's some Windex over there.
Go
All
next
right.
door.
Yeah. Hey, there's some Lysol.
Some Lysol. Keep the flies away.
That's fucked up.
I
Okay.
almost like spit that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna open another one. This is thank you, Sarah and Rick, the Mora
Yes.
Millers from Reno, Nevada. Nevada, as our dumb fuck president will say.
Yeah, Nevada.
I mean, that's my nonpartisan way of.
I
addressing
wonder how
it.
he would say Agathocles.
Tweet him.
Yeah. How would you say this?
doesn't know correct pronunciation of Agathocles. Sad.
Lame.
Although I mispronounced correct right there, so
Yeah.
there you go. Anyhow, I said connect.
Connect.
I was thinking of Connect 4. Like wanted to play right
What
now.
a game.
Yeah. So anyhow, Great Basin Tectonic Event. This is a Imperial IPA.
Great Basin's pretty big for like a microbrew, I believe, right?
Yeah, they've been around for
They've
a
been
little while.
One of the old school guys. I wanna
Yeah,
say.
they're from
Yeah.
Sparks, right down the street from
I'm gonna
where
open
Sarah
up
and
one of
Rick live. So if you're visiting the Mora Millers,
Yes.
go with them to Great Basin. Here we go. Tectonic event.
That's the pour.
Oh,
You hear that?
Oh, and then
Equal
you got
pour.
the St.
My
Pauli
poor
girl.
shaky.
I'm just.
I know one NA beer and you got the shakes already.
Fucking
Yeah, I'm getting
sounds
unruly
the
over
Warriors.
here. Going on number 2. St. Pauli.
Yeah, that,
Alcohol, come out to play.
Oh, yeah. Asshole, come out to play. Asshole. It's like
The
that
old
inner
asshole
asshole in
juice.
you that wants to just destroy shit.
Ah, cheers, cheers.
Cheers, yeah.
Cheers.
I love that we're able to do this.
Yeah, it's good. See?
Yeah.
oh, sorry.
St. Pauli's not bad. I'll give this my seal of my sober
That's kind
thumbs
of
up.
tasty.
Yeah.
That's nice. That Revision IPA was amazing.
That was really
Those
good.
amaze
man.
balls.
Fucking
That was
A.
great.
Hit pretty hard, too.
Yeah. That was Sarah Moore Miller's recommendation, so thank you kindly.
Yeah, thank you very much. Notice the tectonic event and off the scale, which is kind of like what we're to me, it's yeah. I was kind of I recently went off under the Scoville unit scale
That's true.
because I didn't want to stay on the Richter scale because there was some bad earthquakes happening. I thought it was not. It was in bad taste, poor
very
taste.
bad taste.
So I moved on to the Scoville unit.
Because this show's all about good taste.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
about good taste. Finally, it's starting to hit me now after like 48 episodes. Like, okay,
That should
taste.
be the tagline. Should be 3 fine gentlemen with exquisite taste.
Yeah.
exquisite taste. But yeah, I just noticed that it's all about the Richter scale. This one, but
So what is this
I
on
don't
the Richter
refer
scale?
to that anymore. I just refer to the Scoville unit scale. What's that? What is this on the Richter
Yeah,
scale?
what is it on the Richter scale? Let's see on the front.
8.7.
Damn.
It's not too bad.
Wow.
This is bad boy.
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
All right, so what were we going to
Hardly imperial.
What were we talking about?
I think we
knows?
were going to steer towards something you were involved in.
Oh,
recently,
yes.
wasn't it?
The Gilman doc.
The
That's
Gilman
Gilman
doc.
doc.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
because there was a power violence documentary,
right.
which is upcoming, in the works, and then there's the Gilman documentary, which is already out.
Completed.
It's made, completed. It's made the rounds. It's
Well, let's go there.
around
And
the
then
country.
there's also the No Use for a Name documentary.
Yeah, that's right.
Mom documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, the year of your docs. That's
Yeah,
right.
this is
Documentarian.
my year of the docs.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a No Use for Name documentary that's not out yet, but I saw the trailer for that. So those 2 minutes were good. And then the Crom doc, which
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
Those
but
2
you've
minutes
seen.
are good.
Yeah, those 2 minutes are good.
I've seen the doc, and those 2 minutes are good.
So
Take those claws back there.
yeah,
Meow.
Yeah.
yeah. So now
I'm
there's
kidding.
a
I'm kidding.
yeah. So there's a Gilman.
I was
doc.
entertained, but I'm in the band.
But this one, the Turn It Around doc about the early Gilman and like East Bay punk scene and all that.
Now you were involved with that.
Yeah, it
From
turns
what
out
I
I was.
understand.
Yeah, because I was in the documentary. So yeah. And the weird thing is that
So you
Yeah.
Okay.
well, I grew up in the
We should
South
put, like,
Bay.
We should turn all the microphones to and then hold a couple. Because I have
like in your
over
face.
here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There you go.
A press conference.
before we're done, we're gonna take a picture of that.
Oh yeah. Holden Court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, I grew up in the South Bay. I was from the South Bay. I wasn't in the East Bay, but yet they still let me be in the documentary. So
Nice.
there you go.
See?
That's
There
wow.
you go. But no, it was put together. The guys from Green Day financed this whole thing, and Corbett Redford, which is like the best name for a documentarian. Corbett Redford, director.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corbett Redford.
He's a kid Colbert though.
Colbert? No, Colbert.
Colbert? That's the first name?
No. Now you're messing me up. Who are you talking about?
I'm just asking, what's the first name?
Corbett.
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 Who
Corbett
names-
Redford.
That is a strange name.
Like you.
No,
look
what
at
you're
a-
saying.
you
What
look
you're,
at a-
just say it. Just say it.
Well, it's like
Who
you're looking
names
at
are kid Corbett?
You're looking at
right?
a baby crying.
That's what you're
and
saying.
You're looking at a baby crying, and you go, "Let's name him Corbett."
That's
I don't know.
I don't know.
if you put it in that scenario, it is very comical to me.
It's like looking at a baby and naming it Primitivo, which is another name I've heard.
What is it?
I don't know. Maybe Corbett's short for something else.
Primitivo.
Did you say Primitivo?
I'm not even joking. Yeah, there's kids.
Primitivo?
There's kids out there named
Primitivo?
Primitivo.
Whoa.
Like primitive?
That's
Oh, come here, primitive. This
I read a book.
child is like a little primate. He looks like a little monkey. I'm going to name him Primitivo. You little monkey. You funny little monkey.
I did
wild.
read a book called Crazy English, and they said that I forget what country this woman was from, but she wanted to name her child the most beautiful sounding name in English, and she named it Diarrhea. Which
Terrible.
That is a beautiful
think
sounding
about that.
name.
Diarrhea. It sounds, rolls off
Diarrhea.
the tongue very nice,
Yeah.
but it's not a good name for a child. I guess you call it Rhea. Rhea Perlman.
Yeah.
Rhea Perlman.
Yeah, Rhea.
Maybe she was Diarrhea.
Maybe it's short for diarrhea.
I'm sure. Yeah. I'm sure
gotta be.
she got that in elementary school.
She looks like Ronnie James Dio, but let's not get into that.
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea Perlman.
Yeah, that's it. That's my new one-man porno grind band.
Diarrhea.
That's my fucking like Shiza Minnelli.
I know we're yeah.
You ever heard that one?
Yeah.
Shiza Minnelli.
We'll be playing Obscene Extreme next year.
Fuck yeah.
That's like the perfect name for either a one-man porno grind band or like your first high school punk band.
Yeah.
Diarrhea
Diarrhea
Perlman.
Perlman. Yeah.
It's like the next song.
It's all this beat. It's like a band somewhere. There's a Diarrhea Perlman 7-inch somewhere, and it actually sounds exactly like that.
Diarrhea Perlman.
Some guy's like, dude, how did he know?
Yeah. With like the Xerox covers and all that.
Yeah, he's like,
It's just-
fuck,
Yeah.
that's our record.
Yeah.
Asshole. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's great.
I don't even know where I was. So yeah.
Gilman.
So Gilman, early Gilman sort of stuff, which I was involved in. Was in the band Sticky. So he talked about the band Sticky and the whole like goofcore sort of element that went on with early Gilman and how like just the Bay Area scene at the time was really violent and overrun by skinheads and Nazi skins and stuff
proper
like that.
Nazis and shit?
Oh yeah,
That's
like
for
big
real?
time Nazi skinheads. Like I used to go, especially there's a place in San Francisco called The Farm.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of this big room, and they'd have like these big shows like Day on the Farm, which would be like, I don't know, like 10 or 12 different bands, and these Nazi skinheads would show up and just like fuck everything up.
Always.
It's like,
Always.
yeah, it was just like that time when that was just kind of common. Like you'd just have a small group of these dudes show up and just like,
It's so hard
okay,
to
we're
picture that in the Bay. Like,
we're
it's
just
so
gonna-
hard to picture.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah. but
Where exactly in San Francisco? was
the
this?
farm was down like God, what do you call it? It's like off Potrero, kind of. I don't know what part of town you'd call it.
Yeah, I'm just curious. 'cause I know-
remember Amy from Votsec? Remember
Oh,
her?
we lived at-
stayed
was
at
she
her
living
house?
that-
Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was right,
Oh, right
right
there?
by there. Yeah,
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah. So all of you who knew where
Amy from Votsec.
Amy from Votsec, where she used to live in San Francisco, if you know where her house was, that's where the farm was. It's right by there.
That's where Cynthia threw a burrito at me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
She threw it at your back.
She threw my back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I made a comment. She fucking.
No, because she thought you were missing, and you wouldn't give her a straight answer because she was like, "You were on the." It was really late at night. Okay, now we're going back. So Despisey played. I forget what show he played.
You remember because
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I wasn't as drunk as you
Oh,
were.
it's total mess.
But we were. Despisey played up there, and I forget where we played or when it was. But
Was this? Oh, this was what was that red building? It was like fuck, I can't remember.
I don't know.
We played there.
we
a couple times.
played in the Red Building.
Yeah, we played the red
It was
building a
great.
couple of times. I just
Yeah.
can't remember the name of the.
It was
fucking-
by the ballpark. There's like
Yeah,
a park.
yeah.
Was it,
Yeah, yeah, it was like-
called the park? The
Parkside.
Park.
The
Parkside.
Parkside.
There you.
The
Parkside.
Parkside.
Yeah.
There
That's
we
what it was,
go.
Yeah.
That was a really good way
The
to...
red building.
Yeah, good one.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's
the Red Building. So we were driving around. I think we went to the Mission District to like get burritos or something.
Yeah, we ate at the.
You're drunk. You tackled a tree. I think because we were talking about the one time you wrestled a tree, and so
Oh,
you
and
actually
so I did it.
So you did tackle one.
Yeah.
And there, I think it was all the bars. All the bars had let out at that point, and there were all these
It
like
was
you
late.
know,
Yeah.
kind of like San Francisco .comers, kind of like all hanging out there. And I remember you just walked into the middle of a group of them, all standing on the corner, and you're just like standing shoulder to shoulder with them, and just started screaming like super loud. He's like, "Woo! Woo!" Just fuck with them.
That's the best.
Commerce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bunch of .commies.
It's like it sounds like you were just right in that pocket of brilliance.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
Then there's the next the next moment is violence. But
Hopefully
I didn't go there.
Yeah. So we moved on from that. You did tackle the tree, I think, on the way back to the van. And we were in like two separate vehicles. We were going back to Amy's house, and we left. And I was in the car with Cynthia, and I forget who else. And Cynthia's like, "Where's Phil?" I think because you'd gone with us there, but you weren't with us in the car going to Amy's house.
Oh yeah.
It's like, where is he? I think we left him behind. Where's he? So she like called you on your cell, and she's like, "Phil, where are you?" And you're like, yeah, I'm like with these guys, and I'm not. She's like, "Phil, where are you? Do you need us?" I'm like, you wouldn't give her a straight answer, and so she was like super pissed off and just like,
we gotta pick up this asshole.
Yeah, she couldn't figure it out. Like, okay, are you there? Like, she kept asking if we'd left you, if you were still there, and you wouldn't tell her. And so
shitty.
So like we got to Amy's house and you were there. Like you'd gone in the other car, but you didn't say anything. And so she was all pissed off. She had that burrito and threw it at
I remember
you.
it hit me in the back of the neck. I was like, I'm like, oh shit, she threw a burrito.
Burrito?
Yeah.
If you throw a burrito at someone, you're
Pissed. Yeah.
because you want to eat that.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Sorry for the sidetrack, but I vividly remember being that burrito thrown at me like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And I think I made a comment to her about Mike Function, which is in Gasp.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what I said. I said, what are you acting like Mike Function or something? And she's like, motherfucker. And I think that's when she threw the burrito at me.
Is he a known burrito thrower?
Well, he's known to get. Well, I think he was sober for a while, but he was known to
Gets a little saucy.
Yeah. So when I just said like you're acting like him, she was just like, you motherfucker. I threw it right in the back of my neck. I was like, But yeah, sorry to sidetrack, but that is a moment that happened out there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So anyhow, Nazi skins and all that overtaking shows. So when Gilman started and Maximum Rock and Roll, you know, with Tim Yohannan, he started up this new club, and the whole thing was like, you know, they're trying to turn the tide of that whole like violent bullshit sort of thing with Nazis taking over shows. And so when there'd be troublemakers that would show up at Gilman shows, they would like shut it down. There was like they had a whole thing like, okay, open mic policy. Like if someone was unhappy about something, it'd be the middle of a band set and someone would go up and like grab the mic and be like, I don't really like that, you know, people are being really violent in the pit right now, and you know, which sounds awful. Which is so fucking Berkeley. But and you know what's funny is like at another like sidetrack sort of thing. I didn't really realize I grew up in the Bay Area, but until I moved away from the Bay Area, I didn't realize how uptight the Bay Area was. Not like there's anything wrong about, you know, fighting Nazis and shutting all that, but just that sort of thing, like when you're not in a situation where you're fighting Nazis, when it's just like an everyday thing and everyone feels like what I have to say is really important and like, oh, okay, well, you need to follow my lead and everyone needs to be respectful and like follow this like rigid set of rules for whatever. And like the whole Bay Area is very kind of, I'm sorry, my friends who live up there, but it's so fucking uptight.
I mean, that's kind of, coming from LA, that's always been our perception.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know, the perfect example is like when I decided to move to LA in 2001, everyone in LA, it's like this says it all. All my friends in LA who I'd like talking about, okay, I'm moving down there and say stuff about San Francisco and be like, oh, San Francisco, I love San Francisco. It's so cool. Yeah, right on.
Totally.
Everyone in San Francisco who I'd talk about LA and be like, oh, yeah, I'm moving down there. And they're like, my condolences.
Yeah, that place sucks. Yeah, I don't understand that.
That sums it all up.
Yeah.
That whole like, that whole elitist bullshit. So, everyone down there's so superficial. It's like,
my
it's
condolences.
like really okay, interesting. It's like, okay, is it better to be like super uptight and just so far up your own ass that you can't, that you just can't enjoy life, you know? So.
And I would say to the flip, like LA has its own bullshit.
Oh
like,
yeah, of
you know
course.
what I mean?
Like
not dogging on completely on there, but yeah, our perception's always been like, fuck, man, if you're from like up there, it's just you're uptight, like just too much.
It's
here,
true.
Like I was saying,
true.
here,
I mean,
here it's not as uptight, but there's still the same scene bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
no, but I was
different.
I was the same way though, because I grew up in that environment, so I was like one of those people to an
Sure.
extent.
Yeah.
Because that's your environment, that's what you're used to.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, oh yeah, we're all uptight, cool.
Yeah,
You know what?
and they get good shows.
It's like we're like against all of society's rules, but ours are way more rigid than
Way more rigid.
what we're rebelling against.
Here-
Ironically,
Yeah, the irony
it's
of
like punk rock is all about rebellion. Yet, okay, well, you're not following my rules of rebellion, so you're gonna have to step over here, away from my safe space. And,
Yeah. Here would be like, oh, there's a bunch of Nazis at Spanky's. Like, I'm just not going there anymore.
yeah.
Like, that's it.
I would imagine
like-
down
like-
here, it's just like there's a bunch of Nazis at Spanky's. Let's not let's not go. B, let's fuck them up.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
there's just that's it.
That was the kind of thing.
You know?
Then, like at the country club in the Valley, I remember Nazis showing up to some shows and they just got their fucking ass beat to shit.
That
It
is
was
the
pretty
best.
gnarly, and or like there was even like suicidals, which was a totally different kind
Oh,
of
that's
thing.
yeah.
But
You
that,
don't.
that was even
you
just,
don't.
that was.
That's one of those things where you're just like, okay, I'm just not gonna.
I'm just not gonna go.
I'm just gonna go home.
I'm on the I'm on the outskirts of the pit, like as far as like.
That was the first show I went to when we moved here. It was at House of Blues. It was Waste and Suicidal, and like the House of Blues on Sunset. How like if you're in the dressing room area, you can go to like the front part and you're on Sunset Boulevard.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So we're like out there having a cigarette, and like Suicidal's about to go on, and then all of a sudden just fucking riot cops going all the way down Sunset Boulevard, and just riot cops, shields, the whole nine, and then fucking helicopters. I was like, what the hell is happening? Like they're like, oh yeah, no, this is just a Suicidal's playing.
Just
Ready
for
what
it.
happens when
And
they
what's
play.
funny is, like,
I was like, what the fuck?
And it's suicidal now.
yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
that's
even
what's
back-
weird.
yeah.
That's what's weird.
Yeah.
Because like back then, I didn't live in LA. I wasn't at a lot of shows and stuff. I was at a show at Fender's in '86. That was so fucked up. There's so many. It was like, basically everyone there wanted to hurt me. So it's like a whole nobody was friendly. I was
just
no one was cool
violence.
at all. It's just everyone was just like.
I
"Look."
actually never went to Fender's, which is kind of a bummer. I remember my brother, who was not even like that much in all this shit, went to Fender's for Bad Brains,
Oh, cool.
and I couldn't go. I was just too young or whatever. But I eventually started going to the country club in the Valley, like in Sherman Oaks, and there was all kinds of shows happening there, which is a great place. But like, there would be the Nazis, sometimes suicidal, sometimes just people wanting to beat the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
So it got
Was the
pretty gnarly.
Lads still a thing then? That was
Yeah.
a big,
Oh,
that
that's
was a
right,
big
yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah,
The Lads.
yeah.
Well, there was that, but there was also San Gabriel Valley Unity that would be at shows.
So they straight edge crew, I'm guessing.
They were like a straight edge crew, I believe, and then there was like the Sharps,
Oh,
which were
yeah,
skinheads
yeah.
against Racial Prejudice.
Yeah.
So it was a
last
weird.
resort skins. And
It was
all
a
that.
weird time, yeah. I remember. Oh, there was a good show. I remember where it was. I think I was a freshman at school, and I was playing football. So like, they fucking like got all the freshmen to shave their fucking heads, some bullshit, thing. And so my head was like fucking like bald, And I went to go see DOA at the country club, and I'm fucking, jumping around the pit, and this fucking dude like kept like when they single you out, like kept hitting me.
Yeah.
Same dude.
Like,
I'm
here's
like,
the- yeah.
I know. So I'm like, all right. So
Like,
someone's-
okay, you're the mark.
yeah, someone's marked me. So I'm like, all right, here we go. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm hitting him, same thing. And then at one point he hits me really fucking hard. So I went back and hit him. And then we kind of squared off, and he looks at me like, fuck you. And like, I'm like, oh, Jesus. So I'm like, well, fuck you. And then behind him, like 5 or 6 skinhead dudes come behind him.
Great.
And they're all like surrounding me,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
like they're stepping
Well,
up
they
for you?
walked up like that, like in the pit, And it was before DOA. I don't even know what band we were pitting to. But so I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to get fucking stomped. Like, this is going to be bad, And then one of the main dude I was looking at all of a sudden like kind of looks past me, And he looked like kind of like oh shit. like his face,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I turn around, and there was like 9 skinheads behind me that like came up behind me, like,
Really?
to protect. Yeah, like they were like protecting me or
That's
something.
fucking crazy.
I didn't know
Yeah.
anybody.
But you were bald.
Yeah, but I was bald.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was skin, and I was Mexican, so maybe
Yeah.
they were just like
That's what it was.
maybe sharps.
No, because yeah, go ahead.
So they fucking like it stopped. They
Yeah.
went away, and those dudes all like pat me on the back. They're like we got you or something. I'm like, wow, that was a weird
that's
fucking
crazy.
moment, dude.
Man, I'd be
so I walked
shitting my
away. I
pants.
think I just like kind of like chilled
That's
out.
funny.
But I
No,
was
because that made me think of one of my favorite early shows in San Jose. It was a Adrenaline OD, DRI,
oh fuck yeah.
yeah, Blast, Special Forces, Christ on Parade.
Wow,
At like this little dance studio. And I
studio.
yeah, and I'd shaved my head. I wasn't like skinhead, but I just like you know, the reason I shaved my head was because I gave myself a mohawk and it looked terrible.
Was it all crooked?
And no, it wasn't crooked, but like I had, you know, I was just like suburban, you know, whatever, typical suburban white kid. So I was all like super tan and had like, you know, like parted, like feathered hair or whatever the fuck in like mid 80s. And so then like I decided, oh, you know, I kept saying I'm going to get a mohawk. So I went, my friend Steve Paputzis, who had started No Use for a Name with.
No shit.
And so he like cut off my hair with like, I had a mohawk, but it was like, cause I'd parted my hair in the middle. So it was like this weird, like,
Alfalfa kind
yeah, it's this weird looking sort of, yeah, exactly.
It didn't have
So
that
the-
like solid like.
no, it
line.
wasn't solid at all. I had like a part down
Like
the middle
Travis
of it.
Bickle.
Yes.
Like, yeah, very solid.
No, it wasn't that cool at all. It was the opposite of cool. It's like, you know, the mid 80s, so I've got like short shorts, like short OP shorts.
The pockets hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. And so I got like the mohawk that's like parted in the middle, and I'm like super tan. So like when so I shaved it, it's like the sides of my head were all pale, so it looked like I was wearing like one of those Halloween, like, you know, you put like the skull cap sort of thing on, like the rubber, you know, like mohawk skull thing. That's what it looked like. It just looked like it was fake because it had this line where like the top of my head was totally pale, and then the rest of my face was all suntan. So, like after a day, I'm like, yeah,
good look.
like yeah, not a good look on me.
We're done with this.
Not a good look. So then I just cut it all off. I was bald. But anyhow, so I end up going to the show, and like all the skinheads who were there was just like, "Sup," you know, like everyone's giving me like the
He's down.
"What's up?" Yeah, right on, you know, just like giving me the nod and like, "Hey,
You're one of us.
right on, skins." I'm like, you know, like okay, yeah, right on, dude. I mean, thankfully there's no like Nazi skins
Yeah,
over there,
yeah.
but it was just like I was instantly like kind of what you're saying. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know any of these guys, but I'm down because I'm bald.
and that's good.
yeah. I'm bald and I'm Mexican and you guys are bald and Mexican, so we're
good.
We're bald and Mexican together. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing where it's just like you're bald, we're bald. Yeah, we're bald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I'm bald in 16. So
Well, like that whole thing of like, this is like when that shit was, well, maybe not for me, but that shit was just kind of, it was starting to happen.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like how it's totally regimented now. We're like, those are skinheads, those are this. It was like,
yeah.
back then was like, you know, if like you literally had long hair, you might get your ass kicked at like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of show. You
Yeah.
know? Like it wasn't like a joke. It was like,
Yeah.
no, you're going to get stomped. Like,
Yeah.
fucked up. Actually, I think some friends of mine were out in the Showcase Theater. It was a place out that used to have shows, and there'd always be like Nazis, and I just never wanted to go out there. I think 16 played out there maybe once, and
Well, that's the OC.
yeah, OC.
It's the Orange Curtain.
Exactly, and
whole nother
there was a whole
beast.
ordeal where a bunch of friends, like I think someone almost got run over, and some guys got stomped. It was bad. Someone got knifed, and it was
Good
they
God.
were all long hairs, and it was like
Yeah.
skinheads, you know. It's just like
Yeah.
that was like some real shit. Like it's
Yeah.
not like some made up like it was
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
You know?
No, it's totally real.
That's-
I was at
that's
so
crazy.
many shows where just random people. You're like, okay, this is gonna be like, okay, is my card coming up today?
yeah, this is it.
Because they just, you know, you got this group of skinheads. They're just like, okay, let's pick out the runt of the litter and just start wailing on them.
Yeah.
You know,
So shitty.
and just so I just kind of, you know, I just kind of
Worst.
stick to the side and kind of blend in, like, just like stare at the side. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Closer.
You're staring at the side. You're all going to see your frogs.
Yeah, seen frogs in my mind. Like, why, yes, sir. I enjoy Fang as well.
Yeah, great band.
Don't beat me.
Yeah,
And
please
you're like,
don't stomp my face. Please don't kick my teeth out.
then you hum it.
Twiddling the thumbs.
Twiddling them. Do a different key.
So anyhow, getting back to Gilman. Gilman was like one of the first. That was actually one of the coolest things about the club was that there was like this conscious effort. Like, you know, we're not dealing with any of this shit.
Yeah, like,
and
fuck
so,
off.
Yeah, fuck off.
That's cool.
And you know, if there's troublemakers that show up, like there's people in the pit being assholes and stuff. Like people would actually stop them, like grab them and be like, hey, you need to chill out.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would escalate into whatever, and then you get more people who kind of crowd them and escort them out.
Yeah.
Or they just chill out.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. And then it like went from that to like the total other extreme. So it was like super freaking goofy and silly.
Yeah.
To the point that when Sticky played with Slapshot out there, I think
That's
yeah,
insane.
I think
Yeah, that's
Choke
nuts.
was like
Didn't Timmy
like
Hannon like loved them or something, right? Like he was like really into Slapshot for some
no,
reason. Or
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I thought there was some
I don't
weird
know.
thing where he was in like really into like some kind of straight edge Boston band or something, and they played Gilman.
I don't know. It wasn't them. Yeah.
sorry.
But no, Choke called
Totally
it.
just making it up.
Choke called it fucking romper room. Which is kind of funny because like for the past 30 years or something since I guess like 29 years since we played the show together. There's been like this
you
whole
guys
thing
played
of like
in Boston, is that what it was?
Yeah. There's this whole
wow.
thing of just like, oh man, like when Sticky played with Slapshot and they thought it was total, romper room and whatever. And then I didn't like know those guys or anything like that, but then like Infest went out to Boston a couple years ago and I ended up like talking to Choke and we hung out and stuff, and he actually like
That's cool.
friended me on Facebook and like sent me all these messages. I'm just like, I don't know if you know the whole connection. I'm like, but I like brought up the whole Sticky thing and he's just like, oh yeah, that sounds like me, like classic asshole me. He's just like totally making a joke about it, and he's like, it's funny because like at the time,
Choke
considering
is like the nicest guy.
yeah, he's super
So
fucking
crazy.
cool. And like the funny thing is, like we actually all these years we've had way more in common than I realized because he's like the same sort of thing where he's basically like taking the piss out of everybody by like by being like that direct and like, oh, it's fucking romper room. It's just like, he's just like trying to
Like knock out.
like trying to. It's like a dig, but he's not like a tough guy sort of thing.
That's
it's
not
like
your only tough guy hardcore connection either. The 25 to life split.
oh yeah, the 25 to life split.
No, that's not your only one.
Yeah. Well, I got hold on. We got a quick pause. So we got an amber ale. We got this milk stout. You wanna?
Milk stout's like the later, like the last capper, right? Probably.
Yeah, that'll be the finale. And then we got a pale ale.
I let you choose between
Well,
those.
let's do the amber. This is the Great Basin Wild Horse Amber Ale.
Wow.
I know. Look. I was going to like Bob Seger, like against the wind,
yeah.
like that cover.
Against the wind. Yeah,
We're
totally.
running against the wind.
Dude, I
Push shoulder now.
my buddy,
we're still running
my buddy
again.
Kirk, man, we used to work together, and like, there was one time he just would not sing that, like, the backup of that. It's like against
the wind.
He kept singing that one. It was almost like an hour. He kept going against the wind. He's like, maybe like fucking like whatever. He's like against the wind. Just the backup part. I was like, oh my god, would you stop, dude? That's fucking so
good.
like,
Run against the wind. Run against the wind. We're still running.
yeah, he does like.
Good shit. Yeah, Choke is a totally cool guy.
Back from
Yeah,
Bob
that's
Seger,
Yeah.
back to Choke.
And we took this picture together. He actually took a selfie with me. I'm like,
Amazing.
okay. I'm like, are we doing this like tough guy or are we doing like goofy? He's just like, oh, totally goofy. So like we're both totally smiling, like, hey,
Yo, it's not
happy-
tough guy.
That's
Yeah.
great.
So anyhow,
I remember you casually dropped that like you were at the first Op Ivy show and stuff too. I mean, that's just stuff like that. It's so what's like legendary now is just like going to a show. That Like,
no, I was at considering that everyone cares about Op Ivy and no one cares about Sticky. It's like that's my bragging thing. It's not so much I was in this band so much as I saw this other band. I was there, like because I was at the first and the last Op Ivy shows. Because the very first Op Ivy show was in Dave Mello's garage a couple days before, either a day or 2 days before the Gilman show, if I remember correctly, in Dave Mello's garage. And so it was like Op Ivy and Isocracy, this local band called, I think, No Dogs played, maybe the Vagrants, a few of them. But like Op Ivy, the very first show that they played, like club show, was at Gilman. It was MDC, Gangrene, Sticky, and Op Ivy.
Damn.
And Op Ivy was the opening band, and like...
That's sick.
And there were already, like their very first show, there were people on stage.
Of course.
Like singing along, like singing Hedgecore and stuff like that.
Yeah. Shit.
And then their very last show was at Gilman, and like Green Day was, I think, the first band.
Oh wow!
And whoever else was on the bill. So I was at both of those. But
did those scenes did they like coexist? Like split bills and shit like that, like the hardcore scene and then the pop punk stuff. Like, it was like 15 playing.
It was like some like a
hardcore band.
Yeah, it was like a crusty, political sort of like Final Conflict and then Crimpshrine or whatever.
That actually did.
Because the bills at the time, like in the 80s, all the hardcore shows, or not all the hardcore shows, but I should say all the punk shows, it was all mixed bills. It wasn't it wasn't until I think like the 90s that it started getting more divided. Like, okay, this is the emo show. This is the hardcore show. This is the pop punk show. This is whatever. This is the thrash metal show. This is the grindcore show. That's like, how it all branched off to how it is now. We're like, okay, I'm seeing all grindcore tonight. I'm seeing all stoner metal. I'm seeing all pop punk, whatever. At the time, because there weren't as many bands, as there are now. It was still like way more underground.
And the genres weren't like as defined.
And all the bands, it was just kind of my feeling that everyone listened to everything. It was all punk, whether it was like fast and whatever, or if it was pop. I loved the Descendants. I loved Larum. I loved, I loved Black Flag and MDC and I loved, whatever. But, all those bills, there's always like, okay, SNFU and, Final Conflict, and keep bringing up Final Conflict, but I can't think of anyone else. But Discharge and a pop punk band,
Filth and Grimple, and there was like that crusty scene, and then you had but like 15 was one of the stinkiest bands I've ever seen.
Well,
like, as far as legitimately
in person. They weren't like crusty as far as like Profane Existence, crusty hardcore D beat sort of stuff. They were still like that grungy East Bay, like loose pop punk sort of thing. But in person, they stunk.
Like they smelled.
Wow.
Really?
They were hard. Yeah. They were like anti-soap.
They played like Cleveland. Cleveland I think it was 95 or something like that. It was Los Crudos, 15.
Anti-soap.
I got I got a good one for you. No, Crimpshrine. And actually, if anyone from like that whole East Bay scene is listening to this right now, maybe we'll get a kick out of this, because I don't think anyone knew this outside of our own little clique of like South Bay people from like Sticky and our friend Big Wayne and a few other people. But like when Lookout Records was starting, and there was that whole group of all those 7-inches that came out for like it was Op Ivy and Isocracy and Crimpshrine and stuff, and the Crimpshrine one was called Sleep. What's that?
Yeah,
is the name of 7-inch. So our joke was Soap. What's that? Because those guys always fucking stunk.
That's fucking perfect.
Soap. What's that? That's amazing.
So what's that?
That is disgusting when it's that known. It's just like
it was a known thing from that Cleveland show. People still talk about.
I mean, they were nice guys. They were totally cool guys. They were very ripe guys.
Very ripe.
Very ripe. Yeah. So anyhow.
But
yeah, so the Gilman documentary, really well done. Excellent,
I
excellent,
mean,
excellent.
This is gonna sound. There's no way to not sound like an asshole when asking this question. But do you feel like it actually did represent?
I do.
The scene and everything.
Yeah,
Which is
strangely enough,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Because everyone has their own, you have, like, if you're involved in whatever and someone does a documentary about it, you have your own angle because that's your experience. And so
Yeah.
you're thinking, like, oh, well, they didn't even talk about this. And I mean, there's so much to talk about and so many things that, I personally know. It's like, oh, well, they didn't cover this and this, but whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
considering that, they covered a lot of ground with a crazy amount of interviewees. And I can't believe that he actually made it something that was, coherent
Yeah.
for 2.5 hours. It's the original. The original cut was 5 hours,
yeah,
which
we
he
were
cut
talking
down to
about
2.5. And it was still really good. And I was worried that I brought the wife and the kid. The kid fell asleep.
Really?
Yeah, but my wife.
Goddamn millennials.
Yeah, but my wife loved it, and I was really worried because, it was getting to be like the 2-hour mark. I'm like, shit, I know there's another half hour. I'm like, she's probably just bored out of her skull.
Yeah.
But she was just like, no, I loved it. I thought it was great. So like having that objective opinion was good.
The trailers look incredible.
You
Like,
did
it's
a
really good.
absolutely
you did a
incredible.
Q&A, right?
Yeah. They did because they did a screening at the ArcLight Cinema here, and so they had
Hollywood.
it was in Hollywood, and they did not like in this room, but in Hollywood, yeah.
It's in Hollywood.
Because I said here, so I didn't
Yeah,
mean
I was
here.
confused.
They didn't do a Q&A in
It
your
was
back.
like when you said you and
yeah.
Ryan were married. I thought you guys were
Yeah, we were
fucking
married to each other. Well, you never know.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
Can you
I
that
didn't
last
hear
time
about
we were-
this.
Like we were watching something where some guy was like picking up on this girl, and he was like, she's like, "Where are you from?" He goes, "Hollywood." And he just looked like the kind of guy who would say Hollywood and not Los Angeles, like he thought he was like a '50s kind of stupid. I don't know. I just think that anybody.
And Bowser comes, bop bop bang 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 ding dong ding do 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 blue moon. Blue moon, blue moon. Bowser!
Yeah, Bowser! The year of the Bowser.
We should build Trappist from Hollywood. Trappist Hollywood.
From
Sunset
Hollywood.
Strip, Hollywood,
Just-
California.
It makes it a little grungy.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
Rock and roll from
Yeah,
Hollywood.
rock and roll
Yeah,
from Hollywood.
Sunset Strip.
But,
Home of the legendary Burger King.
Legendary Arby's.
Yeah.
The legendary taco store.
But no, we did
and-
they had the screening at the ArcLight in Hollywood, and so they kept adding screening. It's interesting because there wasn't like an LA run for this whole thing.
No,
Like,
it's weird. It's one night. Right?
Yeah, because a lot
and it was a weeknight.
because they've been showing it around the country, and like they'll usually have like that premiere night, and then it's running for like a couple weeks or something like that. These little art house sort of places. Here it just showed that one night, and they just kept adding screenings on the same night. So it was like
3 in total.
yeah, so they added 3, which are staggered by 30 minutes each. So I ended up doing 2 Q&As, which are okay. I mean, I didn't really.
I mean, you must have like 40 sticky questions.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
exactly. Well, that's it. I mean, I'm surprised the questions weren't like, does anyone have questions for Chris Dodge? Like, yeah, why weren't you in Op Ivy? So,
So you weren't in Green Day?
Okay, so tell me, so you're not Jesse Michaels, is what you're saying. So. And Jesse was there with me, and I'm surprised he didn't get punished way more than I thought he would. But
They calmed. They respect.
I think they all waited till afterwards. That's
So
the thing.
just
Like
meet him and talk to him.
yeah,
in person.
exactly. And there was
Come on him.
there were a lot of Green Day shirts. Yeah. There were a lot of Green Day shirts in the audience. So like,
Really?
Yeah.
A ton?
Yeah, it was interesting.
That is crazy. Like when you think of all the historic like rock and roll things, that because of Green Day being so huge, like Gilman will be a part of like
Yeah,
Rock and Roll
for
Hall
sure.
of Fame.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
that's
pretty
gonna
cool.
I mean, that's fucking cool. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Like you think
Yeah.
about CBGB's 924 Gilman, and like maybe because it wasn't a total shit show, it's actually still around. Whereas CB's
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
closed and.
But it's pretty cool. I mean, that's one band that, it's like I'm not like a huge fan or whatever. They have a couple of things that I like, but in general, I'm not like a big fan of Green Day, musically. But I mean, they have so much integrity. They've always,
Yeah.
for me, they've always maintained that. And
Yeah.
they've always
Yeah.
put like they invested a lot of money in the, like they bought this massive sound system for it and all this stuff at one point. And,
Oh, yeah.
I was reading something that like Jeff Ott said, like how he was like when they got signed, everybody was anti Green Day, and then he realized that Green Day like because they quote unquote sold out, was able to like give so much more money to all the causes that he was trying to do as well. And he's like, oh, maybe it's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
like these guys are actually like giving back to the community and shit, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they, put out something like American Idiot, which is an album that to me is so relevant now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, the fact that they're just putting that out there, and it's not vague. It's like very like direct, like, hey, dumb fuck redneck America. It's like they're like blatantly saying that.
Yeah.
And to have what's cool is that you have that much influence.
Yeah.
And that you can, to get your message out, and that you're allowed to, and I don't know.
I just think it's cool. I also have to say, like, his guitar sound on some of those records is fucking really heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for a pop punk band, it's like, I've always said, like, another one is like Weezer. Like, Weezer and
really
fucking, like, I don't know. There's some bands that are like, we have the heaviest guitar, whatever,
Yeah.
like death metal bands. I'm like, damn, Weezer and fucking Green Day sound heavier than you guys. Like, I'm sorry, but those guitar sounds are fucking...
I totally agree. I mean, there's very few, like, pop punk sort of bands that I like, but those are actually, like, I mean, Weezer, not so much pop punk, but...
But I mean,
but, like, those two bands,
like, they're like, sometimes I've listened to those records, I'm like, damn, the guitar tone's fucking sick on this shit,
Mm-hmm.
But
that was such a good era for just like punk in general, man. Just that whole scene, like hardcore pop punk, like all that shit was fucking just being turned out so, like, all perfect, good shit.
Yeah. But I mean, kind of a good link back to the Power Violence documentary. I mean, because of the whole pop punk uprising, late 80s, early 90s, that was kind of the impetus of the Power Violence scene coming together.
like a backlash kind of. Like,
Yeah, because the whole, like, in the Bay Area, it was all... Yeah, I mean, most of the bands associated with the West Coast Power Violence thing were from L.A., but it was a California thing, but it was like us in Northern California. Kind of our whole deal was, it was just that. So let's talk about something. Yeah, so no, so we. Like the whole scene was just like overrun with this whole, pop punk thing, and like emo being not what emo is now.
Sure.
Like what, I
we
don't know,
did,
Good Charlotte or whatever the fuck.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah,
and
Chemical
such.
Romance. Or it's not like that at all. It was bands like Embrace and some
Rites of
Rites of Spring and like stuff that
Frail.
stuff that I actually liked.
Yeah.
But it was like this whole, like thinking, like, oh, thinking man's thing. And, oh, well, you're still in the hardcore. You haven't progressed. You're, you haven't moved on. It's so cute that you still listen to hardcore. I remember when I used to listen to hardcore. It's just like this whole, like, condescending, which, like, goes back to my whole thing about the Bay Area and that whole, like, snobbish sort of elitist bullshit. And, like,
you guys remember, like Heroin or Antioch?
Yeah.
Would that be that was kind of emo?
I think
that was like that weird
like,
San
kinda,
Diego shit.
We're like,
right?
it's kind of like emo, but like
Kids
noisy emo.
Because that shit was
the whole thing where like you have Spock haircuts and like high water pants, and you like fall on, you drop the mic on the ground, like fall on the ground and yell into it.
There was never a 4/4 drum beat. It was always like
yeah. It's a little strange. What, Click-a-Tack Katawi, I think was one of those.
Yefek
Like,
It's one of those bands where
I
one of those bands that you never face the audience. You like look at I remember seeing not like Rorschach was emo, but remember
The drummer faced the
yeah,
other way.
Rorschach did one tour where the drummer faced the back.
Dude,
Yeah.
so awesome.
That's so fucking
So
funny
awesome.
because it's just like, that's like a big fuck you. I want to see you. But yeah,
I remember
I don't know.
seeing a video from that in like '99, and Mike Thorne had a copy of that, and it was like game changer. Like, dude, these guys are fucking crazy. The drummer's facing, or the guy's back facing everybody. This band is insane.
I just had to bring up those bands because I'm like, down here, those were like the bands that were playing, like Gravity, with that label Gravity.
Right.
A lot of those bands, and I thought some were like whatever, but there was some I saw live that were like, fuck, this band's pretty good. You know?
Yeah.
Especially like Heroin were pretty fucking out there. You
That
know?
band Orchid, I thought was good. I don't know
Yeah.
that Can't
from-
Meet 12
yeah,
inch.
yeah.
Fuck, that's brutal.
Well, should we take a little break?
Yeah, let's take another break.
We'll take another break because
Let's find some more beers.
because I fucked up the last one. We're gonna do a little longer here, man.
Hey!
Like Jim Land.
Yeah, let's take a break and make sure you actually recorded this.
Our mistake is your reward.
Hey,
Lucky you.
again, I want you all to take a trip with me. Put on your headsets right now and just relax. Maybe let your balls fall out and listen for a little bit. 2 and 2. Bye.
SolarFuneral.com. 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 Guaranteed to be the sickest in hardcore, sea beat, and all things raw punk rock. Log on in and check out beautiful releases by Maniac's Nuke Hammer. Their new 7-inch assisted hissing in your ear, guaranteed to make your brain explode. Also check out other releases by Combs, Gas Mask Terror, Black Dove. Oh my God, pick up that No Picture No Fate 12-inch. Dismal. Oh, the Terror Plague 7-inch. Yeah, I was in that band once, didn't make it on the 7-inch. The Awakening, Eternal Blizzard. Holy shit, a classic indeed. Do yourself a favor, go on SolarFuneral.com right fucking now and buy. Guaranteed to be the sickest.
Speaking of punishing yourself.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Speaking of punishing yourself, welcome back to
Welcome
Hardware.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open the Great Basin Outlaw Milk Stout.
Yeah.
Yummy.
We're gonna clean up now.
Yeah.
So just,
Do you have any NA stouts?
I
They even
wish.
exist.
NA stout?
You know, that's surprising that wouldn't exist. That's something that you
I'll bet you in the
would think
future.
would be like.
It's gonna happen. It's gotta
Yeah.
happen.
gonna
NA
happen.
stout sounds like that would actually be a good version of an NA beer. Like a stout would probably be awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Or one of these days I'll just drink a stout. I don't know.
Yeah. or you'll just quit being a pussy.
Yeah, true,
Ooh,
true. Good God. Good God.
That was so rough. That was so rough. Outlaw Milk Stout. This is Sweet Stout, America's Most Wanted, 5.2.
Yeah.
A little on the fucking Scoville
Yeah,
unit scale.
yeah. We're gonna have to follow up with something else.
Yeah,
You
something,
have to, one of us have to run and get that bells.
something else
There was
wicked.
a- there
Yeah,
was
we
that
do.
bottle
Is
of
that the last
gin.
one we have?
That's well, I've got
That's
a
one?
pale ale.
Oh, okay.
It says sweet
Barbarian
stout. Is
stout.
it smells
Yeah, and that Bell's pretty good.
molassesy.
I have to say it was pretty tasty.
Yeah. So we were just listening to Hallows Eve.
Little Hallows Eve,
Yeah.
Lethal Tendency. Oh, God, I can't even talk very
band.
well. Lethal Tendencies. But we were just talking about, we didn't know where the fuck they're from. We looked it up as Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, very surprising.
Very surprising.
Also, the burger special at Grill 'Em All, 19 Main Street, Alhambra, California. Call us 626-284-BERG. Again, that's 626-284-BERG.
And explain that burger you're just talking about, the date.
Oh, we do the Hallows
Yeah.
Eve. It's like a date goat cheese puree with like this pickled radicchio and jalapeno and our house infused jalapeno bacon. It's like a damn good burger.
Sounds awesome.
Damn good band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
which,
the wrestling AKA is actually the Halloween Havoc. That was a great pay per view back in the WCW
I
days.
remember that one.
It was always
WCW?
Mm-hmm. Back in the
Is that like women's
90s.
wrestling?
Women's Championship Wrestling.
Women's Championship Wrestling.
No, WCW. I'm thinking ECW. ECW.
ECW was the
Excellent.
That was the shit.
championship
excellent
wrestling.
championship wrestling.
Yeah.
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 Excellent.
As opposed to women's.
God, speaking of dudes' skin getting ripped off, the ECW Sabu Terry Funk match where Sabu rips the barbed wire off and rips his skin off, and then he gets duct tape, keeps on going with the match. There's like a flap of skin hanging from his arm. He takes duct tape in his teeth, fucking puts it on his arm, tapes his arm up with duct tape,
Keep
and
it on.
continues on
Yeah.
with Terry Funk. One of the fucking gnarliest things I've ever seen.
Sabu was badass.
Dude, he was the fucking greatest. Homicidal, suicidal, genocidal.
That whole deal was
Sabu,
like,
ECW.
That sounds like some
Sandman.
lyrics right there.
It's
Was it like-
no joke. Matt and I's first band, SeaWorld. Yeah, that was the band.
I saw a picture you posted,
Oh, boy.
or Matt posted. It was a Sea
That was,
World.
yeah, we were geniuses. But we had a song called Sabu, and that was the chorus. Homicidal, suicidal, genocidal,
Yeah,
soft
there you go.
fucking
See?
boo.
Fuck yeah. What was that? Tommy Dreamer and
Tommy
Sandman?
Dreamer, Sandman. Dude, I saw Sandman.
That
He's
shit was
still
great.
wrestling, but he actually just wrestled the back parking lot of Now That's Class, which had to have been one of the greatest
What?
Oh
experiences
my
ever.
god, that
Yeah.
must have been so
Whoa.
shitty.
They did a
Dude, now
Cleveland
that's
wrestling-
class in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Explain this place.
Oh my god.
You've been
owned
there,
by
right?
Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
This is like one of the greatest bars ever. He's been the owner for, God, they've been going for over 10 years now. There's the gnarliest skate park. Like the showroom actually contains the gnarliest skate park ever made. Ever. It's like
That's right, they have a
everything's
ramp in
like
there.
yeah, everything's
That's
like
right.
oververt and so scary. I mean, it's like the great. If you don't know about Now It's Class, like the greatest bar ever, debaucherous, most insane
Yeah.
place in the years. And they also did a Cleveland local promotion. AIW Wrestling did a fucking wrestling event in the back parking lot of Now
Really?
It's Class. Yeah,
So cool.
and like and Sandman wrestled it. I'm sure that probably must have been like amazing.
Well, now that's class. It used before they took it over and made it. Now that's class. It was like a
gay bar.
gay bar. So they had like all
Yeah.
these like pictures,
murals,
all on,
yeah.
like murals and stuff, which they kept.
They
right?
kept all of you go into the showroom. It's just like dicks everywhere. it's amazing. Yeah, because it used to be. It was like there's one of them that still exists, and I think it was. I don't remember if they took over the Hawk or the Hawk is the one that's still next door, but yeah, it was a gay bar, and it was called Now This Class. It was like like that place was actually legitimately super nice.
Yeah.
And then
So before it was called Now That's Class.
yeah, and then
So
Now
they
This Class-
maintained the name.
Yeah, No, it wasn't called Now That's Class.
Oh, what was
before.
it called before?
It was just really nice. So they're like, oh, now
Okay.
that's class.
Oh, okay.
What was it called though? Do you remember?
I can't remember if that was the Hawk or if the Hawk's next door. I don't
They just
remember.
came in and saw the dick murals, and they're like, now that's
That's
class.
class.
Here we go. Here we go.
I've never had a bad time.
Or
in that
maybe
place.
those
Oh.
need an ass.
Those need an ass.
Slowly turned into now that's class.
Yeah.
They have
Most
like the
likely.
jock corner. They everybody like they play all the Cleveland games and shit, and it's like dirt cheap specials, and everybody who sits and watches the games has lanyards. And there's
Oh,
like
yeah?
a membership for the jock corner.
Oh
of Now
my
It's Class.
god, that's funny.
Oh yeah, $5 will do you right in that place.
$5.
Yeah, you get like a Mad Dog 2020, like big old giant bottle of it. But then he has like really good craft beer too, which is
Yeah,
like, the
yeah,
other side of it.
yeah,
It's,
that's what I remember.
The beer selection is vast.
Yeah,
it
a
goes from
great
like
beer
Mad
selection.
Dog and,
Yeah.
and total garbage to like stellar,
Yeah,
amazing beers.
they had a
and shit.
crazy good beer
Yeah.
selection.
It's
Yeah.
I love that place, man.
Fuck.
First
So-
time going back there sober was hard. Like, that was
We're like, oh, it's actually not that fun.
No, I still had a blast, but it was definitely like there was the first 15 minutes was like just every second was a trigger. It's like
I'm
fuck.
shaking.
Yeah. Oh man, good times.
Okay, so speaking of Hallows Eve, which we weren't speaking of, but we were speaking of before we started talking about that. No, that's class. We were gonna like find a way to transition into the whole Halloween thing coming up and all
we
that.
failed it already.
We totally failed. So I'm making it. I'm building the
Forcing
bridge. I'm building the bridge right now
Force it.
to our Halloween transition. Because I was listening yesterday. I was sending out all these T-shirts and stuff, and I was listening to podcasts while I was filling all these orders. And I was listening to this one called what's it called? Anything Ghost.
Oh,
It was
nice. Good
just
fun.
ghost stories.
Fuck, how do you do
was
a
great.
podcast on that?
That's
No, it was great
yeah.
because
That would get like you gotta know a lot
because
of
you
people.
just get everybody. Well, like people submit it, and like
Oh,
after you
I see.
got a podcast going for a long time, and if it's just based on submissions, and you get people listening, like, okay, send me your story about this.
Yeah.
And you just keep going, and so you don't. It's actually brilliant because you don't have to write any material. That's what I'm hoping is like we won't have to improv anymore. We'll just like send us your show ideas.
Yeah.
sorry for that dig, but and then we'll just like read other people's like
Yeah,
like okay, riff on something, and then we'll just read it and like crack up while we're doing it.
That works. That'll help.
Yeah, but no. So I'm listening to this thing, and there was all these ghost stories, and I'm thinking of my own. I'm like, hey, Halloween's coming up. I'm sure like almost everyone I know has some sort of ghost story.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a couple. They're not that spectacular, but you were saying you lived in a haunted house.
The first place, the first house I lived in on my own was in Columbus with Travis, Adam, Brian, a bunch of guys from Killed in Action, and then there was like 9 of us in this house, and it was the tree was a historic landmark. It was actually like an old plantation house in Columbus. It was like the first.
That's trouble.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
The place, it was huge. The place
Yeesh.
was massive. It actually had a servants' quarters in the house. It was a massive house. So there was actually 9 of us that lived there, and I mean, you could go like weeks without seing everybody because it was
Because
such a
it's so
big. It was
huge.
such a huge house,
Wow.
and I think my rent was $110. I
yeah.
had about so the barn or your garage rather was a 2-level barn, and the side was like a workshop. It was like this sketchy barn, man.
Yeah.
And it just the whole house was like sketchy old house. But one day we were out messing around the barn and we came across this like a not treasure chest, but a chest.
Yeah.
And it had the
Was
previous.
there a big X? Like,
But it had the previous owners, like everything was in there. It was a weird thing. So like, why is it still here? Because it had his like army discharge papers. It had his like social security card. It had like everything of his. We're like, oh, this is weird. Like, shouldn't somebody
yeah.
have this? And that's after we found that. I swear to God, it sounds like total bullshit. That's when shit started happening
Right after that.
in the house. I
You
swear.
awoke in
And-
the
The spirit, or I suppose he was pissed off that 9, actually maybe 5 really disgusting punks and then like 4 normal people were living in this house.
Like, you shitbags, get
Yeah.
out of my
Yeah.
house.
Like
leave
but-
now.
and like Adam, he had the house, like, it was weird. You could sense patterns with the spirit. It's fucking crazy. Adam lived in what was his former library.
Yeah.
And it was like right by the TV room where everybody gathered and watched TV. And he had one of those, remember those sensor lights where you could like hit it and it would go like brighter, brightest, like every time you wouldn't have to click it, you just touch it.
Like on a lamp or something?
Yeah, like on a lamp.
Yeah.
Like you just touch the base of the lamp. Like one day we're sitting there watching TV and the light, nobody's in his room. The light just goes brighter, brightest. We're like, what the fuck? And it turns off. And it goes brighter, brightest. And it turns off. We're like, what the fuck is going on? And then it just starts going crazy.
Really?
And then the light just burns out. We're like, well, that was really strange. Okay. And then you'd go up and around and then you'd go upstairs and the first room was Travis's room. And Travis, that was his bedroom. So Travis got to the point where like Travis it'd be like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock and he would be up doing homework or whatever and the lights would go off in his room. And he would like turn them back on and the lights would go back off in his room. It's like, what the fuck? So he had to Travis actually got like a battery powered light because he was so sick of dealing with it. He got a battery powered light in his room. Because what would happen is like we started finding out from the neighbors his like habits. He would come home from work, he'd go to the library, and then he'd go upstairs up to his room, and then come back down and then relax in the library. So that's like he was like trying to turn off the fucking lights. There'd be times you'd like walk up the stairs and you just feel this like fucked up energy walk past you. So weird.
Whoa.
And one night I had this balcony, right? And I couldn't sleep, and I go and I sit outside and smoke a cigarette in this balcony, and the light turns on in the kitchen below me. I was like, okay, it's like 3 a.m, but there's 9 of us that live here, not too weird. And see the light go on, and then the amount of time it would take to walk from the kitchen to the workshop in the barn garage, the fucking light in the barn garage workshop goes on. Not a single, like, nothing. I was like, this is really weird. This is
like
pretty fucked up. Yeah. Like, I mean, it was crazy. So I'm sitting out there, and I can't sleep now because I'm like, what the fuck just turned that on?
Yeah.
And about like an hour later, the light goes off in the workshop. Then the light in the kitchen turns off. And all the lights in the house were then off, except for mine. I was like, what the fuck? Nobody was up.
No one's out.
No one was awake. It was weird. And then, like, yeah, we went home for break, for, like, winter break or whatever it was, Christmas break, from college, and we all went home. And when we were gone, all the pipes burst and, like, fucking flooded our basement.
Yeah.
Like, all this, it was crazy.
Whoa.
To the point where, like, and it wouldn't stop happening.
Yeah.
It would just, like, always shit like that. Constant fucking with the lights and, like,
Yeah,
all kinds of
yeah.
weird shit. And it got to the
Trying
point
to get
where...
you out of there.
Yeah, dude, like, all 9 of us are like, dude, we're done. Like, sorry, the
Really?
fucking place is so nice.
all 9 of you are like,
Yeah,
we're all
we
moving.
all got the fuck out of there. It was
Wow.
it was just way too much. And it wasn't stopping. And, like, Travis and Adam had it the worst. Because,
Yeah.
like, that was their rooms. So those dudes,
Where
like...
this shit was happening.
Yeah, like, so, like, I mean, if you were in Travis's room, if you were standing in Travis's room and it was, like, that dude's bedtime, the fucking lights would go off in his room.
Yeah.
Like, nobody would be nowhere near the light switch.
Oh, that's
It was
fucking
creepy,
weird.
man. It was real weird. So, yeah, we got the fuck out of there. I never believed in ghosts or any of that shit until that specific time. It was real weird.
Yeah.
We knew the guy's name and everything. I can't remember his name, but we
Oh,
used to
because
know
you
his
found
name.
the trunk.
We found his trunk, and then we started talking to the neighbors. I used to walk this lady's dogs, this older lady,
Yeah.
and like play with her dogs and stuff. She lived like next door to us, and she like knew his old habits. She's like, oh yeah, he would get home from work around this time, and then he would do this and blah blah blah.
So
And,
all
like,
the stuff
it
that
followed
happened, all the stuff that
patterns.
happened in the house followed the pattern
Yeah.
of what this guy would usually
Yeah,
do.
it was
He'd go out
fucking
to the
creepy.
workshop for an hour, go
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
I swore on my life that I saw it, but nobody believes me.
Huh.
I was like, Adam had this tiny drum kit set up in his room, the library thing, and I was just playing it one day. I was the only one in the house.
Yeah.
And it was right around that time where like the sun's going down, it's like dusk, and the time was right, and they thought it was like a car drove. But I swear to God, I saw the form of like a guy out of the corner of my eye. Whether I did or I didn't, I swear that I did. Whatever.
Yeah.
I ran the fuck out of the house, and I locked myself out of the house. So I had to wait for one of the 9 of us to come home. Luckily, it wasn't that long, being 9 people living in one place. But yeah, that was the main one I've ever done.
Yeah, that
was the fucking worst.
That's
It
the
was
stuff you
terrible.
hear about all the time. Is like it's always like something like out of the corner of your eye, and just like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah. There's a lot of haunted kitchens too. There was one in Chicago, in the Flatiron Building in Chicago, at this place I worked at. It's called Santulo's, and they had the dough machine was in the basement, of course, and like the buildings from like the 1800s.
And you can only make dough at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. But you were always down there by yourself, and that was always. I don't remember seeing. There's a lot of stories about it, but I don't remember seeing anything myself. But it was never a good feeling being down there by yourself.
It's good, huh?
Good. Yeah. Phil just brought in the Bell's Porter. That's
Bell's
good.
Porter. Robust
Bells,
porter,
man.
it says.
That is robust.
Where
Michigan.
is this place?
Michigan.
Yeah.
Bell's is the shit, dude. They've been around
Comstock, Michigan.
forever.
Comstock.
I believe outside of Kalamazoo, I want to say.
Yeah.
Bell's.
Sounds about right.
But they do Oberon, right? They do.
Yeah.
Bell's does a lot of
Oberon,
really
yeah.
fucking
That's a good
solid
one.
beers.
Yeah.
Near Comstock?
Yeah. Is that gathering or all the?
Yeah, Comstock.
Comstock.
It's just like a
So
porno
it's like a
gathering.
three-day
It's
gathering.
it's a male porno gathering of just
porno
dudes
grind.
who shoot major ropes. Comstock.
It's a major lasso event.
All kinds of rope contests. It's like all kinds of lasso.
Yeah.
Tricks.
Yeah,
All kinds
lasso
of
tricks.
Style points.
Yeah.
I think what's his name has been 10 years
man.
winner. Peter North seems to win every year.
Comstock.
Yeah, he's kind of like the honor.
Yeah, he's like what they do the Emmys, and they just like the legend status.
Yeah.
Shit or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody gave up every year. They're like, well, he's gonna win it again this year. So
Comstock
fuck it.
load.
He's like Eminem at Scribble Jam. They won't let him.
The Comstock load.
Comstock
I heard
load.
about that. Yeah, that's I learned about that. in
Well,
history.
2018. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
like
already
gold country.
preparing for 2018. Like I'm involved.
Yeah, we.
He's the head organizer
sense.
over here.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're already working. I don't want to
Yeah.
give anything away, but
We got some
2018.
talks
vendors
about,
locked down.
Yeah.
We got some
Talking
major.
about all the new football stadiums and stuff. Well, talk to Phil. He's organizing 2018.
organizing
right.
Comstock
He's
2018.
He's planning for 2018 right now.
He's already locked in some solid
solid ropers.
musical acts.
Yeah.
Solid talent.
Yeah. So you're saying, so you're probably rubbing one out, and then you saw a figure at the foot of the bed. Is
Yeah,
that-
well, dude, I was
yeah,
yanking
yeah.
on my shit.
Yeah. Good
that was
lead-in.
it. Yeah.
No,
Creepy lead-in.
I'm trying to find the transition
No, I
here
actually-
because you
I-
mentioned a figure or something.
Yeah. Well, I have over the years had suffered from that sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis and
Really?
yeah.
That shit's weird.
Yeah, it's
That-
fucking-
the whole the
Where you
the
can't
old
move.
witch sort of thing,
Like, you
where you
can't-
have someone.
well,
someone
you can't move,
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah.
there is times where it feels like something's like on you.
Like you feel like you're half awake, like you're in this
That's
middle.
you're half-
thing.
you're in this-
Yeah, I've
like
had
you're in this,
I've had that happen a
you
lot.
feel you're in another dimension
Yeah,
or something.
not in recent years, but it used to way back when. Strangely enough, when I was with my ex-wife.
Oh, you had that?
Yeah, where I was feeling oppressed.
Feeling pushed down.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird coincidence how I don't get that anymore. But
It's all gone.
Yeah, and I've been freed for some reason. But yeah,
It
go
felt
ahead.
like a boulder. Yeah,
No.
it felt like a boulder lifted
No,
off my
but
shoulder.
it's weird. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
I've
dude,
had
yeah,
that happen
I've-
before, where it's you can see the room, but it's you're in a different dimension of your room, and there's
sounds
something's there,
And
and
you
you're
can't
holy
move.
fuck, I gotta wake up.
And you can't move.
Yeah.
I've had that before, but that was acid.
Tripping balls.
Yeah,
No, I would
called
say
tripping balls.
I would say in the past year I haven't felt it, but even as recently as last year, I've had moments of that shit, and it's
That's brutal.
Yeah, actually, no, I can't lie. Probably within the last 6 months, I had that, but it wasn't. It was all sensory. It was all. I heard whispering.
Oh.
That was creepy. Yeah, I heard.
Jesus.
Okay, I couldn't fucking move. I didn't have my eyes open, so it was dark, but I felt awake, and I heard this in my ears, right up to my ears, and I couldn't get out of it.
yeah.
And
That's
yeah, it's like that whole
creepy,
you
man.
you can't get out of it. So
That's really
that
creepy.
was really scary. But the incident that Chris is talking about happened probably like in the late 90s. And again, it was like a sleep paralysis moment. And I used to live in this place by Cheetahs.
Oh, yeah.
in
and-
Hollywood?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had this, my window was like one of those where like my bed was kind of low. So like the windowsill was right where the edge of my bed was.
Okay.
And it was a kind of a big window. So it was like right that, you know, I'd lean over and just open the window and it was right, you know, like right next to me, a whole full window to get air and shit. So, and then there was like bushes, like fucking spiky bushes that hurt. So, and I'll get to that. So, I'm fucking, so I'm in this, like, I start to feel this like sleep paralysis bullshit. And this time, like, I open my eyes and I'm wide awake, but I can't move. And which I've seen, I don't know if you've seen this documentary. I think it's called Night Terrors or something. And it talks about it.
Is it on Netflix?
I think
If it's not on Netflix, I'm not going to see it.
I think
I'm never going to
honest,
like
dude.
most documentaries.
Yeah.
If it's not on Netflix,
Forget
I'm
it.
never going to see
doesn't
it.
exist.
I know there's like documentaries about everything.
Yeah, but I believe it was on Netflix, or it was something to do with that Morgan Spurlock dude, which he just like got his hand in every documentary, you know. But
It's him as the subject? Or?
I just thought he had something to like produce it or something.
Oh.
But I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the first like 20 minutes, and it right away within like it started talking. People kept mentioning like there's some like an image there. And fucking sure enough, like I saw a fucking image of a body, like sitting over my bed, like at the foot of my bed, like I couldn't see the face or anything, but I could see there was arms, and it looked like somebody hunched over, just staring at me
Yeah.
in bed, and I couldn't move, and there's like this weird. I don't know if you've never had the sleep paralysis.
No,
There's
sounds
like
intense.
It's intense because you feel like you can talk, but you can't. You're like, you're trying to like say something, and it's just not coming out. No. Yeah. Like you feel like you're in slow motion. So I was in this sleep paralysis kind of feeling, but when it snapped out, I was still there, if that makes sense. Like I felt I was still there. So I fucking dove out that window. Like, because I was like, there's someone in my fucking room. So I dove out my window, fucking full underwear, with t-shirt on.
Had your underoos on?
Yeah, I had my fucking Hulk underoos on, and I jump out. And so when I dive out on this fucking bush, it was like, must have been recently trimmed, and because it fucking tore up my back and my leg. I think I still have a big old fucking scar, but like it just ripped my leg and back up. You know, like branches that are like, you know, like that. Just fucking, and like I just fell into it.
Fucking gardeners.
Yeah, and I roll. Yeah, God damn you,
They're so
Jose.
good.
Damn you for being efficient.
Jose.
Yeah.
God damn you, Jose. So I roll out, and I run around to the front. Of
Bill
the,
said that.
Yeah, Bill
okay.
said that.
It's okay for me to say anything.
Yeah,
So I ran around.
Mexican on Mexican
Yeah.
hate crime.
Yeah. If you guys said like fucking Bryce or Bryce.
Nice Maserati, Ted.
Yeah. You're all this guy owned a company. Bryce. That'd be the same thing.
Bryce Weatherford, damn you.
Bryce Weatherford the third.
That's the only thing Ryan and I can get away with.
Yeah.
Insulting some like.
Yeah. So I literally went
Damn
around.
you,
I
Chad.
went around to the other side, and I went to the front door and was banging on the door. It was Mike Meza, was my buddy a little bit. He came out and he's like, I saw my underwear and bleeding. Like, what the fuck? And I was like, dude, there was,
You had a hell of a night.
oh, dude, I was like, there's
in
something
your
in my
underwear and bleeding. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
He high five
Nice.
you.
How'd
and
it
it's
go?
like,
Yeah, killer.
You just get dropped off. So I was like, fuck it. Like someone's in my fucking room, and he went over to my room, and we went in there, and I was like, dude, there's no one in your room, and it was just like the weirdest.
Yeah.
I was convinced there was someone in my room. That's how fucking I jumped out of a fucking window. That's
Yeah.
how scary it was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
man.
that's probably my
That's
and then
a trip.
and then I did have these two girls I knew that lived there after said they felt some weird energy in there, and they saw some shit or heard some stuff. So I don't know, but
Yeah, that's Oh, that shit's creepy.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. You know, supposedly that house that we're in now has got something going on.
Where you're at now?
Yeah,
Really?
my house. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Camille she has all sorts of stories about it.
You have
but
none? You haven't told
No,
me?
nothing for me.
So you don't believe her?
Yeah, I'm like, you're full of shit.
Do you remember
Like typical chick.
remember
It's like,
our
whatever.
old house?
Full of shit. I don't believe you at all.
Remember Kavina and I's old place? That place was. They had the base. Remember the base? There was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
base
No, in your old place,
That
like
was-
you
I-
guys didn't want because remember years ago, I wanted us to practice in your basement. And
Yeah.
you're just like, no,
Dude,
no,
no way.
we're not
creepy?
go
It was
practicing in the
fucking-
basement.
so, I never went down. It was surprising. I never there was never of any of the houses I lived in. I thought that one for sure was gonna have that was gonna be the next place I was gonna
Yeah.
experience all this shit. You go down to the basement. It's like pitch dark. All the wires are hanging from the fucking rafters. And there's a basement too in California, which is very rare.
Yeah.
And but there was all these wooden cutouts of Christmas carolers, like from the 1950s.
Yeah, like choir boys singing
Like,
and stuff.
like, in,
really.
like Alpenville wear, you know, like what would you call that shit? Like lederhosen and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But it's like 1950s.
It just creeped you
Oh,
out, yeah.
So creepy. And when we were moving in, one of my asshole friends, there was like a broken mirror down there, and somebody, put pentagrams all over it and stuff. And I was like, "Fuck this!" Even though I knew he did it was still
Yeah.
like, I'm done.
Yeah.
The basement's okay. No, good.
Don't go there.
Yeah, I'm okay on that.
But
one.
nothing creepy ever happened.
Not surprisingly, I can't believe that. Like that place was ripe for it.
So what did Camille say happened at your place?
Well, there's been, I don't know. She said that she's heard footsteps a lot. Like usually, cause I'm gone like once every.
all the time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
never
negligent.
Your stupid
'cause
fucking
you're never here.
bands.
You're in your band.
Go dick around with your
Yeah,
band.
exactly.
Oh wait, and you're in a new band that's gonna be gone all the time, aren't
Yeah,
you?
exactly. It's like, oh, great.
Great.
Yeah.
With your two friends that you do a podcast
Exactly.
with.
Oh, who is this?
Fuck you.
We have a special guest.
Hey!
Hey,
Wait,
come on
How
in.
about this? Come on in.
Come on in.
You're guilty of you're on our podcast now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we gotta give him a
How you
mic.
doing?
Hey, actually, come on in.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on in.
This
Yeah.
is my
Hey,
dad.
take my seat. Here.
Yeah, Dad's coming in.
Papa squat.
Take a seat. Yeah, they're on.
Oh, okay. It's been a while since I've been on
yeah.
the telecast.
Actually, what?
How's it going? Good to see you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good to see you guys.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
great.
how you doing, Dad?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good.
All right.
Yeah, speak in.
Dad dropped by.
This is my dad, Carlos Vera.
Add
Yes.
to the
Yeah.
add to the conversation.
Oh,
right
actually, we're talking about ghost stories,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
my uncle, who just
have any good
recently
ones?
passed away, Bobby,
Yeah.
had some of the most scariest ghost stories I think
Yeah,
I've
this
ever
was
heard.
in, I would say, just before you get into Hollywood. He rented a place, okay?
Yeah, this is gnarly.
And
It's pretty weird.
for a while there, it was okay. And then every time he'd come to his house, because he would go out and party on the weekends, whatever, and he'd come back, and right at midnight, he would put his key in the door, and somebody would grab him from behind.
Whoa.
And he'd turn around, and nobody's there, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So he shook it off, because, he's not superstitious. But
Yeah,
anyway, he'd go in, and then it was fine. And then, of course, until he came in at midnight or at that hour, nothing would happen, so it was fine. But sure enough, it just kept recurring. So he talked to the landlord, and the landlord told him that what happened was there was a girl that was murdered at that doorway at midnight
Whoa.
Isn't that
went-
creepy?
in front of the house, in front of the apartment where he was
No
where he
way.
was staying. And he says, sure enough, he would feel it. And still, when he goes to put the key in at midnight,
Dude, I have legit.
He
goosebumps.
feels
it
That-
grab the hand.
That is crazy.
If it's 12:01,
No,
is he good?
yeah.
Does it have to be like
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
midnight?
It's 11:59.
Like 11:50.
Yeah. Philip, he put the key in. He's
not
like,
Like, oh, I gotta get in. Gotta get in
Right.
before.
or like 11:58. He's like,
It's like, oh shit. Okay, are you on East Coast? Are you on Standard or Pacific? Where? What
Well,
time zone are you in?
my brother Bobby.
I just
was
want to
ki-
get in here without
My
being
brother
touched.
Bobby was kind of sensitive to that kind of stuff because
Yeah.
there was another place he lived in where he came in and they were showing him the place because he hadn't rented yet. He just went in to see the apartment. So he walks in there and he goes to the living room, the dining room. It's fine. He walked into the bedroom and he could barely breathe. It just overwhelming. Just he had to get out of the room. And he went back and he went in the rest of the house and he went back in there again and whoa, it was really bad. He couldn't breathe. It was just like muffy and something overpowering
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
So then he came out, and he asked the guy, "Did anything happen in this house or something in that room?" He says, "Well, the thing is, to be honest with you, we came and we found the guy that was living here. He had been dead for 3 days. Okay, and they cleaned the whole house out. They cleaned the whole room out, but." I don't know, for my brother to walk in there, he felt this
just feel it right
overwhelming.
away.
Yeah.
It just wasn't there. But everybody else that came in didn't feel anything. It was all cleaned up.
Spooky, man. That's
But he was
insane.
like that. My brother could feel strange things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to be blessed with, man. Like
I wouldn't want it.
that would creep me out.
No. It was weird. It's like when my sister passed away. That was my oldest sister. She was 27. Her and the baby, it's childbirth, both of them died. Okay.
Wow.
And the day she passed away, my dad went to the door, and I was only about 7 or 8 years old. And he came out, and for some reason, I got up that morning, and nothing was right. It's like, I was like, you look outside and the sun doesn't look right, or it's going to be overcast, but it's not overcast. Just things weren't feeling right. And I wasn't sick. I just had a feeling something's not right, something's wrong. But as soon as my dad got off the phone, he couldn't talk. He just broke down, and he finally told him, my sister, her name was Dolores, but they called her Lola. So he said, Lola's dead, and I heard that, and I thought, oh, that's it. After that, everything was fine. And that's why I always tell people I never cried for my sister. And I did a painting for that reason.
Wow.
And to this day, it was, it's really a strange situation.
Wow, yeah.
That and the time I told you my mom tried to kill that chicken.
Oh, yeah.
My mom, we had a chicken in the yard, and
Grab
she was
it
going
and
to
kill
cook
it.
it. Yeah, and so we went to school. We come back, and she had wrung its neck before we left and threw it on the table.
Oh shit.
So she was going to pluck it. So she got it, plucked it, took all the thing off. And she turned around to get the pot ready, and she turns up, and this chicken's wobbling around like what the heck did you do to me? He's all dazed. So when we come home,
Get the hell out of here.
so when we got home, here's this bald chicken running around the yard, and we're wondering what happened. My mom said, "Leave him alone. He's blessed, leave him alone.
Wow.
Don't
So
touch
she
him."
left him alone.
Yeah,
She's like, okay, you're not for dinner.
He
You
died
get to
in that
live.
yard, He grew old and died.
Really?
Yeah,
He
grew
survived that
feathers,
long?
but- yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, he was fine
Whoa.
after that. Well,
No
it was a
way.
female, but I don't know. I was a kid,
She survived that.
Yeah, the chicken.
That's amazing.
Go back. Did I miss it? Was the chicken plucked?
Yeah, she took all the
So-
feathers out.
so
So
no-
you're
it was
ripping all
bald.
your hair
It
out.
had no feathers and it's like running around.
Running around, balling up, pecking at the floor and everything.
Holy shit.
So my mom said, "Leave it alone." Even my dad came home and
Oh my
she
God.
said, "Whatever you do, don't touch that chicken."
Whoa.
Oh my god.
So it's not a ghost story. It's like a zombie story.
Yeah, that's a zombie story.
Like, okay, I wrung your
Zombie
neck.
chicken.
You
From
came back.
back from the dead.
That's
I
fantastic.
think there is a movie called Zombie Chicken.
Is that really?
If
Yeah.
not, there should be.
Ah,
Yeah.
maybe I should do my mom's story in there. That'd be great.
You just send them that
Chicken.
the script.
The script, yeah. Chicken from the
Zombie
That
dead.
sounds
golden.
like a trauma movie or something
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think it was Trauma. You have to send the golden script.
Yeah.
You guys.
What was
That's
his name?
Shrek.
Lloyd Kaufman or whatever?
Well, what
I
have you
think
guys?
so.
What have you guys brought up anyway, as far as ghost stories?
Oh well, he
I lived in a place that was haunted.
You'll have to listen.
Columbus.
You'll have to listen later on.
Yeah. He talked about it. I had a couple weird. Mine was more like sleep paralysis and stuff.
I know.
Yeah.
You're jumping out of windows and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
he knows the
that's
story.
what about that, yeah.
Oh yeah, I just told that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And then
scary.
I was starting to get into it. I was saying, like, the house that we're in now, my wife was saying that she's experienced a whole bunch of stuff. I haven't experienced anything.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, and it comes in kind of waves. Like, there's a bunch of activity, and then it kind of goes away. But she said, like, mostly, what we were getting into, I think, when you
Footsteps
showed up,
and-
was like how I was, because I'm out of town every once in a while, like when I go out with the band and
Right.
go out for like 3 or 4 days or something and come back. And it's not always then, but it's seems to be when I'm not around, just in general, like maybe I'm at practice or something. But
He's
she's
gone.
Like, yeah.
Now I'm gonna terrorize them.
I know. It's like, okay.
He's no
yeah.
fun at all.
Yeah.
Let's get the wife.
Footsteps in the hallway, or like
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well I could hear it was trying to like open the door and
Right.
stuff like that's like kind of creepy. But the creepiest one that she told me about, she was on disability for a couple of years because she has MS and it was like really bad. So I
Really?
told her, I'm
Wow.
just like, don't go back to work.
Yeah, that's
just
scary.
Just stay at work. We'll try and get Social Security, whatever. Anyhow, so she was home for a couple of years, and there was one period of time, and this was just like a year ago, or maybe like 2 years ago. And it was during the day. She said she was at home because we have, when you go in our house, right when you walk in, on the left is the kitchen, and then there's like a wall. It's like an enclosed kitchen. It's not like an open floor plan
Right.
or anything. And then right past that is the living room, and we got a huge TV and everything. So on the wall to the right, like right where you're walking in, there's a mirror. So that like if I'm at the sink doing dishes, like if there's a game on or something like that,
Yeah.
and
You
I
can look and
hear
see.
like I'll look in the mirror and kind of see what's going on in the TV.
That's good setup.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
So you can kind of see it just in reverse. So she was saying that there was one afternoon that she was home and she was like doing something at the sink and she heard like something on the TV that she wanted, and she looked in the mirror and she saw a person, like she described it to me, like everything they were wearing.
Whoa.
Someone walking away like through
you
the room.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she saw it vividly and she described everything they were
that's
wearing.
freaky, man.
Yeah. And then, like, within a week after that, her cousin Adrian came to visit her for the afternoon. Yeah, come over for lunch. And we have this massive mirror that's on the other side in our living room. And I guess her cousin was sitting in like on the sofa or something. She was like kind of glancing over while she was talking. She looked in the mirror and then she was just like kind of just stopped talking. And was like, like she was trying to figure it out. She's like, yeah, and my wife's like, I know.
I know.
Oh, so she saw this. She saw something walk by.
Yeah, she saw something in the mirror.
Oh,
yeah.
What if like her family has the same thing Phil's uncle had? Like,
What?
Yeah.
Is there any
That's crazy.
history to the house?
Not that we. It was built in probably like the early 50s, I think.
Yeah.
It makes you
And,
just wonder if like certain people just have that.
Yeah.
It
Like,
draws things to him, I guess.
yeah,
I don't
guess.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Focusing on him.
I don't know.
When I was a kid, we lived in Hollywood, and my mom had a 2-story house. It was old. It had, the kind that have, what do you call it, shingles all around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was 2-story. It was a scary house anyway, but when we would go to bed, my sister lived there, I lived there, my brother lived there, my older brother lived there, and then my mom and my dad. And at night, and this was... you would be falling asleep, and then all you'd hear was walking in the attic, because we had an attic above that. And I never went in the attic. In fact, none of us really went into it, okay? But you could definitely hear somebody stepping all the way across to the other side
so
of the house.
freaky, man.
And it was like, because you're kind of half asleep, you never really thought about it. And then we didn't talk about it for quite a while, and then I spoke to my sister, and she says, "Oh yeah, the footsteps." I said, "Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah." And
Oh, yeah, I
it's-
know about
Oh
those.
yeah. Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah, the ghost.
It ended
Goes in the
after
attic.
about a few years, but for a while I was younger and we went through that. I was in high school. It was sure you could hear it just one step after another. And you know how old wood ceilings
Yeah,
creak
yeah.
and like that?
Yeah.
It was definitely going
Interesting,
all the way
yeah.
across, and then it
Yeah.
would walk all the way back, and then it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
our house is all wood floors, so that's
Yeah.
why
So you hear all the like
they would hear-
creaking.
Yeah, yeah.
that house was scary,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Anything with wood is scary.
Yeah.
It really
There's
is.
another one. I was in the band No Use for a Name, and we were in. I went with them to Germany, and we went to Europe, but we were in Germany. It was like '92, and we played this place, the AJZ, which I think is kind of the equivalent of like a, I don't know, some sort of veterans hall or like
Oh,
a
okay.
YMCA or something. Like
Yeah.
they have them all over. And to have events, you just like rented hall sort of place. So we played there, whatever was great. And then like they had a huge side room with all these futons and stuff where we could spend the night. And so, like it was the middle of the night, and I heard this banging outside, like super loud. Like I was just like, oh shit, someone's like trashing the van. Like I'm thinking
Yeah,
like someone's
oh, yeah.
like, because it's just like this loud, just like bam, bam, bam. But the thing is, like, we weren't in the middle of the city. It was like out in kind of like the
Nowhere.
rural area, kind
Yeah.
of like in the country. So it wasn't like, regular like city sort of sounds or whatever. But it's just like super loud banging. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? So it's like, so I got up. I was the only, like, no one else was awake. So I get up and I'm going out. I go out to the side and I'm like worried to look outside. I'm like, oh, there's there's Nazi skins out there and they're attacking our van or something. I'm like thinking all these, because you're in Germany, thinking all these things. And I look out there and there's nothing. There's no damage. There's no nothing. There's no sounds. There's no anything. It's just night. I'm like, kind of weird. And so then I went back to bed and I was having a hard time sleeping. And then I was hearing like up above, it sound like very slowly, I was hearing like rustling and noises and stuff like that. And then I swear to God, for hours until the sun came up, I heard like families getting ready. Really? And I heard like, just like all these voices and things and like plates and things moving and things shuffling around and just like it sounded like
commotion of the day.
Yeah, it sounded like
yeah.
kids and adults and everything, just like just like this murmur sort of thing and things moving or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just like sitting there, and I couldn't get to sleep. And I was telling,
you interrupted the past.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What did they tell you, the guys that?
And that was, and like there was a room upstairs, but there weren't a bunch of families up there getting ready at 4 a.m.
Did the guys that live there or know the place were like, oh yeah, shit happens that's weird around here?
No,
Oh really?
Nothing,
No,
really?
nothing.
They just
told
kept
him-
it quiet. They're like,
Yeah, I'm just
you
like-
leave.
Yeah, time,
He'll be gone.
yes,
Forget about our past.
Yeah. It's time for you to go right now.
Forget about our evil. Leave now.
You must leave now.
Could you
Oh, no, that sounds more Russian.
Yeah,
can you take
You
the
will be
family
leaving
upstairs with you?
Yeah. And can you get them out of here? The fucking pots and
It's a good
pans.
thing it was 92 and movies like Hostel and High Tension and shit like that weren't out yet, because that would be enough.
Oh,
to
so
anyway,
so
like,
brutal too,
cool, in
man.
some crazy house in Germany, like outside. Oh fuck, I'm gonna die.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
It's funny you mentioned High Tension. That movie is pretty.
movie is
That French
insane.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so
I
brutal.
never saw that. No.
It is burly.
Really?
It's like arty though. It's like it's a
Yeah, it's an
killer,
art.
like-
It's an art house
It's like
French.
new independent horror stuff that's just like,
Really?
it's
Wow.
killer.
But
It's really
some
nice
of the stuff
shot.
that happens is really brutal, like to the
Yeah.
point where you're like, oh, dude.
When that,
Well,
that
what-
came out, that was like I
think
thought
that's-
that was like the gnarliest horror movie.
Where the
I've
guy
ever
gets
seen.
his head caught in the stairwell,
Oh god, dude.
and the
So burly.
yeah, it's like a bookshelf just knocks his head off. Oh, it's so brutal. It's
Yeah,
really,
High
that's
Tension.
fine. All right.
This
It's
is the time of
really
the season
violent.
to watch High Tension.
Yeah, watch High
It's
Tension.
fucking
Yeah, good-
It'll-
good Halloween
it'll
movie.
scare the shit out of you. Yeah.
it's pretty
Okay,
creepy.
there's one or two more. There's what I saw a ghost cat. Strangely enough,
You know, there was a movie
Ghost
called
Cat.
Ghost Dad, right? So it's
I
not-
saw Ghost
remember
Dad.
Ghost Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had
With
the
our favorite
pudding and
pudding
the,
and-
the
Yeah,
pudding
that's right,
pops.
Our favorite,
Cliff Huxtable.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a ghost with a really bad sweater.
Ghost Dad.
Ghost
Yeah.
It's like all these like a billion
Ghost
different
Dad
colors.
is a-
And
Ghost Dad's a great name for a hardcore band.
Ghost.
Or Ghost
It comes in
Dude.
black and white. It's
Yeah.
like Bill Cosby black and white picture.
no, I was in it was in the like mid '90s. I was in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and it was probably I don't know, like 9 a.m. We're walking through town and like nothing was open, and just walk along trying to find a place to go for breakfast, and there was like they have all these wooden planks and stuff for the walkways. It's like old town, old
right.
western town sort of theme. And so we're walking along, and like at the time, I'm a dog person now. At the time, I had cats. I lived in San Francisco where you can't have dogs.
Yeah.
So I was in the cats instead of like most metal guys are now.
Yeah.
In the cats. And so whenever if we were out somewhere and I'd see a cat, I'd be like, oh, hey, hey, look at that. Like, we'd make a point of, like, pointing out cats when we were out.
What,
It was just,
what would you say? Don't do that, okay?
yeah. That was just the thing. Like, oh, hey, check out what...
The guys are watching.
Yeah. So, I mean, I only bring
You're
that...
all-
I only bring that up because I was specifically focused on this cat walking along the sidewalk. It wasn't just like casual, like, oh, I wonder where that cat went.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, hey, check out that cat. And it's like in front of us, like maybe about 20 paces or so. And we're walking along and it turns into a doorway. And like I get there within, I would say like 3 seconds. I get to the doorway and the door's closed. It's a business where all the lights are off. And I was like fully expecting to see, okay, this cat walked into this business. And I'm like, wait, what? And I was just confused. I'm like, wait, where did it go? Like it walked. I saw it walk into. Both of us saw it walk into the doorway, but there was no like dog door or anything like that. The door was closed. The business was closed. The door. I tried the door. Whoa. The door was locked. I'm like, wait a second.
Ghost cat.
And I like ran to the corner. I'm like, maybe it ran around the corner and I didn't see. I'm like, no. And I'm looking inside there. There's nothing inside. Like. I just had no explanation.
Right.
Like,
I wonder if the cat. I wonder if it does it every night at that hour.
I just like, all right, ghost cat. I guess.
Yeah.
Ghost cat.
You almost wonder too if like, we only use like what 1/10 of our brain. Like, is our brain just messing with us all the time? Like
some people less.
Yeah. Some people less.
Well, we have a president that hardly uses it at all.
Yeah. Nothing messes with his brain.
No.
And then.
Ghost cat reminded me of Ghost Car. I don't know why that's
Ghost Car, yeah.
Where like they just turn off the lights and shit. Like, it's like it's a ghost car.
Yeah. And for some reason, you can never get away from Ghost Car. All you have to do is get a step on the sidewalk. Come on.
Damn. You had another one?
And there was what was the other one? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was in was like this rural part of Illinois. Which already sounds scary, because Yeah, so you're out there where there's all like
he's from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh.
I was yeah.
That's too bad.
Sorry.
Like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man.
That was an appropriate reaction.
Yeah.
You've come a long way, though.
Thank you.
Put it that way.
Yeah. So this is also probably like mid '90s or so. I was out at this house.
Wow, that's way back.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and
Look who's talking to.
Swords and sandals.
Yeah, exactly. We were like pumping,
Long
like
hair.
a water pump, and like
You had hair at that time,
horse
too.
and buggy.
I remember the railroads was the first
exactly.
thing was like new.
Wow. You
Westward
used
ho!
to chase railroads, too.
Yeah, we just chased the railroads. Like, wow, these are new.
Back in the day when internet pornography was just
It's just
you just had to wait
nascent
for
period.
like buffering. Like, God damn it!
It was
This dial-up connection sucks.
She's got it closed. She wait till you got that bumper to get it on, man.
a nascent period of internet porn.
Exactly. Yeah, so it was like probably around mid '90s or whatever, and so I'm out rural Illinois. I can't remember what the town was, but it's one of those places where it's just like nothing out there and a couple of really old, like kind of farmhouses and
They
stuff.
probably
like,
forgot the name of the town too.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Wait a
tired.
minute. Yeah, we're like, where do we live?
Yeah.
And we're in Illinois.
We've been out here so long, I don't know where I'm at.
Illinois.
Yeah, but one of those places where Ed Gein's probably like stripping the flesh off of bodies, and, just like horrible things are
making
happening.
a new dress.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa, wait a minute. Look at
this.
Drops a stitch.
So anyhow, it wasn't anything like nothing specific like ghostly happened, but it was kind of weird. Like the first night I was there, I had this really. I'm not one of those people who has like horrible nightmares and stuff in general, but I remember just at that moment, that was the one time in my life I had a really vivid dream of people being murdered.
Whoa.
Yeah. It was really weird. Like it was just like so just like vivid and horrifying, and just like I woke up, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the next day, I was there with my ex-wife, and she was the room we were staying in. She was in there, like the door was closed because I think she was changing or something like that. And
typical.
Exactly. and she tried to open the door, and it wouldn't open. Like it was like it just wouldn't open. There was no lock or anything. It just would not open. And so like the two of us,
stuck.
like me and her brother, were like, putting our shoulders in it, like pushing, like doing the cartoon, like okay, let's run into it, like Fred Flintstone or whatever. And it just would not open. There's just no way. Like the knob would turn, but the door wouldn't open. It was just stuck, and we had to go. She had to open the window. And it was like this raised. It was this farmhouse. And it was kind of like up, kind of higher.
Oh, it was higher. The
So we
first
had-
level was higher.
Yes, the first level was like higher, so we had to like get a boost and then like go into the window in there and like knock out the pegs out of the door to like
Really? Get it off?
remove the door from its frame
Are you
for her to
serious?
get out.
Whoa.
Really?
And then after that, I mean, it was fine, but that was the only way to get the door
That's
open.
strange.
That was, I mean, it wasn't necessarily ghostly, but
Yeah,
it
but
was
that's
freaking weird.
Pretty
Yeah, that's
weird.
creepy.
It never happened.
Like for that to happen in the same
Yeah,
area.
yeah.
But what I'm just wondering, why would you want to get the door open to let your wife out anyway?
yeah, exactly. You should have left her there.
I was like,
I was gonna say.
well then, all right.
that was your
I was
moment.
gonna
To,
say,
I guess it's time to have a
I
few
don't
beers.
understand.
that was a moment to jump in the car and leave.
You'll be okay. It's okay.
You'll be all right.
Added a few more nails to that door. What are you talking about? Come on, man.
I'll be right back.
Take the things off. So what are your
Nail gun.
and your buddy was a good friend?
Yeah.
Why didn't he slap you and
Yeah.
say, "What's the matter with
no,
you? Wake
Let's
up!
let's go.
Wake up!"
I know you've been
Deploy.
married, like, 40 something
No,
years?
50 years.
50?
Yeah, it's 51 this
Damn.
year.
What?
Yeah, 50 years.
Married 51 years.
50. 51 this
So he
year.
knows about the whole like.
Yeah,
leave
that's what I'm
this?
telling you. Don't open it.
Like,
Yeah.
flee while you
Wait a
can.
minute.
Run, my child.
They can catch up with you anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. But
I'll track you down.
But it allows
They are
you-
the weaker sex. They
Yeah,
can't,
but you-
they can't catch up with
Wait
you.
a minute.
It's a scientific
Wait,
fact.
they'll find you.
Wait,
It's a
who are we
scientific
talking-
fact.
What are you talking about? Hey. See, what happens though is if you nail that door, you have at least 3 days of freedom.
Yeah.
To catch up with you.
Ready, go frogs.
Go for broke, man. Go for broke.
Margaritaville, here
Yeah, whatever. Just get it so you don't remember. That way,
true.
when they catch up with you, say, I don't know, hon.
I don't know what happened. 3
Jesus,
days.
I just
Well,
blacked
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, black
Yeah.
I was coming back for you, and then I blacked out.
Or 3 days of madness without you. Where have you been?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think on that note, we're gonna
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
My dad coming in,
Yeah.
Carlos Vera.
Good
Thank
stuff.
gentlemen.
Thank you, your dad. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you.
Yeah, you are our first guest.
Yeah,
But
that's amazing.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Decibel. Thank you, Decibel.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Decibel and Adam, you ran a feature on Hour of the
Our new
Barbarian.
band
Really?
and our
Yeah.
new band
Right.
Trappist.
Yeah.
A new band, Trappist. Thank you, Relapse Records,
Man, Bob
for
over
signing us and officially making it official.
making
I
it
know, I
official.
heard about
Yeah.
that. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And we'll,
Yay!
new record in
whenever
March,
we
April.
decide to
somewhere
finish
around
We figured out.
Yeah.
When the fuck we're ready is when it's coming out, dickhead.
Yeah.
there.
So,
Just-
yeah, there you go.
We'll do an ad about what we're all on and everything. But,
Yeah.
all right, thanks for listening.
Anything you
All right.
want to say? Any last
No,
word?
no. I just good luck, you guys.
Yeah,
And
thank
just
you.
keep it going and enjoy life.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.